Cool. Right, for the Devil Racing League. Here for Season 3, Race 16, and we're here at the Sochi Autodrome in Russia this evening. I'm delighted to say, in the commentary box before we start, I have been joined by two people. We've got Michael Booker, who is manager for Ferrari, Racing Point and Haas. We've spoken to him a few times. And also there's a lot of new driver changes this evening. And one of those brand new drivers to the league, TOTD Dizzy, Mr. George Massey, is also with me before we get underway this evening. So good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
So Michael, we'll start with you. I was doing the maths earlier. I'm probably completely wrong, but if your Ferrari team scores 10 points tonight, they've won the Constructors' Championship, so that must be a big incentive for them.
I worked out it's 63 points they need, so I think we can clinch at Japan.
Okay, I told you my maths was rubbish, so...
But yeah, I did work out earlier just to see a lot, but I mean, it'd be interesting to see, because I kind of want to see what these both Ferrari guys are doing, because they're both going to fight the championship. So I think Dan's still there as well, so it's still open. I just want to see what happens.
Indeed. And are your drivers going to be free to race throughout the race?
Yes. Yeah.
So no team orders there, so that could be very, very interesting. It's traditionally a Mercedes stronghold here. We've seen in real life Mercedes have won it every single year. Do you reckon Racing Point might be up there this evening as well? Because they've had a couple of certainly good qualifying results, haven't they?
Ultimate's looking quick here. Ollie's not as quick, but if it rains here, watch out.
Yes, well, indeed. And also Haas, with that win last time out, they've now hauled themselves into the fight for fourth in the Constructors as well. So how do you reckon they'll go here?
Well, we've also got a new Haas driver, Cosme. So, because Jamie's contract was not renewed because he didn't make his objectives. So, Cosme's first race was just Tommaso. So this will be interesting to see what he can actually do, because he was dominating F2, so we'll see what he does now in F1.
Yeah, so they both looking quite quick.
Gareth is Gareth. We all know who Gareth is. He just gets points. He does what he does. He just basically does his job. He gets points every race. He finishes 99% of the races, and they'll just pick up points. I was just to say, it'll be down to Cosme and see what he can actually do, really, the next 6 races, because it'll determine what he does next season and who he's with next season.
Excellent. So we're going to move over to George now. George, first race for us this evening. And you're in quite a good car as well, the Alfa Romeo. You must be looking forward to it this evening.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it all week. It's to be a good race.
Indeed, yes. Have you managed to get a lot of practice in at this racetrack?
Yeah, I've got a fair amount of practice in, I'd say. It's looking good, so we'll see tonight.
Is it a racetrack you like overall?
I've really raced in equal cars. From what I've raced in equal cars, I've really enjoyed the track, so we'll see what we can do in the Alpha.
Excellent, yes. And what's your target for the race here today?
I'd like to finish in the top 10.
Top 10, excellent. Well, thank you so much. Good luck to both of you. George with your first race, and good luck to Michael with your 3 teams. And I hope to speak to you later on.
Yes, bang it. Good luck, Dizzy, and good luck to Penko, which is also reserved in the Alpha tonight as well. And to everyone else.
Yes,
and cheers, Matt. I'll catch you in a bit.
You will indeed, yes. So thank you very much for those two. It's great to have a bit of an interview before we start. Just to run through, Michael touched on it there. There's been a raft of driver changes throughout the grid for the last stretch of the season. The final transfer window was upon us after the last race in Singapore. As we heard, Jamie Keats unfortunately didn't meet his objectives. Had a cracking race last time out in Singapore and won the race, but it wasn't quite enough, unfortunately, for him throughout the season. So I'm just going to run through with you very, very quickly the driver changes that we have in the league starting from this race. So Callum Harrod, you remember him, won the first ever World Championship here for Talk of the Devil, runner-up last season, drove for Williams for a few races. He's now gone into the Red Bull seat, replacing Jamie Callan, who is no longer in the league for the rest of this season. So Callum moves up to Red Bull. Look out for him. We've seen how good he is with the quicker cars, so really expect a good few results from him. Of course, Red Bull have slipped to 5th in the Constructors' Championship now, so they will be really looking for some big points here today. McLaren and Toro Rosso have swapped to their cars, Joe Newman and Gregor Telford, or Telford as you'll see on the stream. Those two have swapped seats, so Joe has gone to McLaren and Greg has gone to the Toro Rosso. And then a little bit further down the grid, Alfa Romeo have got an entirely new driver lineup for the rest of the season. Andrew Yaska from Williams has gone up to the Alfa Romeo, but he won't be racing this evening. As Michael said, it will be Matt as well, or Penko. He will be racing this evening, his first ever race for Talk of the Devil as well. So good luck to him as well. And George, that we spoke to as well, he is in the Alfa Romeo seat for the rest of the season. At Haas, as we said, there is no Jamie Keats for the rest of the season. Instead, we've got Tommaso, or Tom Cosmi. He's going to be the new driver in the Haas, so look out for him this evening as well, see how we get on. And the two Williams drivers have both moved, so left 2 spaces in that Williams team. So first car is going to be Ken Helberstad. Now, we saw him have a fantastic race for Alfa Romeo last time out, finishing in 5th position. Really, really strong points for them. He is now in the Williams. And the last driver swap is Mr. Jack Giles is in the Williams. So it is also his first race this evening. So that is the driver situation. We've gone through the one driver change tonight. Having a look at the Drivers' Championship, we spoke to Michael earlier on. We spoke to him about this. His 2 cars are the main 2 runners now in the Drivers' Championship. Stephen Harrison failed to finish at Singapore. Anthony Bauer came home in 2nd position. So that has cut the points lead at the top of the championship to just 9 points. Don't forget, Stephen had almost 2 race victory advantage at one point a few races ago. Dan Blackwell is hanging on in 3rd place. He's cut the gap to 30 points. So those 3, you would say realistically, are the 3 left in the hunt for the Drivers' World Championship. We got some very close battles going on behind. The 2 Mercedes drivers, are 5 points adrift from each other in 4th and 5th in the Drivers' Championship. And also we've got Gareth Lambourne and Sam Congreve tied on points. They're 5 behind Patrick Orozco, who's driving for Renault, and they are 5 points ahead of Gregor Telford, who is at the Toro Rosso. It's very, very tight in that battle. In the Constructors, as we said, Ferrari, my maths was terrible, but they are dominating the Constructor Championship. They've got a 215 point lead going into this race. Then we've got quite a close battle going on between Mercedes and Renault. Mercedes have had a difficult couple of races. Renault have gone from strength to strength. 3 podiums in the last 4 races for Patrick Orozco has seen them move into 3rd place in the Constructors, just 20 points behind Mercedes. So if Mercedes have another difficult race here and Renault can maintain this momentum that they've got at the moment, who knows what could happen in there. Then we've got a very intense fight for 4th in the Constructors. Racing Point, Red Bull and Haas, just 3 points separate those 3 teams. Racing Point have been consistently very good in the last few races. Haas won last time out as well. Red Bull have had a tricky few races. They were in the hunt for 2nd place in the Constructors at one point. They've now dropped back into 5th. McLaren are very much on their own. The other close battle down there as well is Toro Rosso and Alfa Romeo. They are just 3 points apart from each other, and that is the battle for 8th place in the Constructors' World Championship. So a lot of things to look out for. I will be keeping an eye, for anyone watching the stream this evening, I will be keeping an eye on the chat on Twitch. So if you want any shout outs or any mentions at all, please leave a message on there and I will do my best to read out as many of those as I can. We've got about 4 minutes to go before the session starts. So I will take a couple of minutes break and I will see you all in a couple of minutes. Well, just very quickly before we get going, I have been joined by another driver involved in the merry-go-round after Singapore, Mr. Callum Harrod. Good evening, Callum.
Evening, mate, you alright?
Yes, not too bad. How are you this fine evening?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Good. So we were discussing earlier a lot of the driver changes that have gone on. You must be very pleased to be up in the Red Bull.
Yeah, I mean, I had like 1 or 2 races there a little while ago. But yeah, it's definitely nice to go from a Williams to one of the top 3 teams straight away.
Yes, it's going to be, I think, very noticeable, the change in performance of those 2 cars, definitely.
Oh, it feels rapid.
I bet it does compared to the Williams anyway.
Shame I'm not driving it very quick at the moment.
I was just going to ask you, do you like this racetrack?
Normally, yeah. I don't know. I'm struggling a little bit. I haven't put as much practice in as I should have done, really. So my fault. But any result's a good result.
Indeed, yes. And obviously, your team now locked in a battle for 4th in the constructors. So you must be hoping to help out with that this evening. What's your aim for the race? Where do you reckon you'll finish?
I think a lot of it for me at the moment is helping Dan achieve the best finish that he possibly can, but at the same time making sure that I still pick up decent points to make sure that we can get up there in the constructors again.
Yeah, so team orders, I assume, will be a very big thing for you in that team, because Dan 3rd in the championship, and obviously, unfortunately, this season you're not in it, so it must be big on team orders for this race.
Oh, very much so. I don't suppose you'll see me in front of Dan at any point throughout the race. Maybe other than pit stops, but as soon as he catches me up, I'll be getting out of his way.
Excellent, yes. So, well, I have to say, Callum, I've heard it from you so many times that you're going to struggle, and then you end up winning the race. So, we'll see what happens.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It would. Well, thank you very much, Callum, for joining us, and
No
have a good
worries.
race. And hopefully, I'll talk to you later on.
Well, fingers crossed. You can only hope, eh?
Indeed, yes.
All right, see you in a bit.
See you in a bit. So, I'm not sure if we're just having a few technical issues. We might be having to restart the lobby. Possibly. I will find out in a couple of seconds for you. Indeed we are, yes. So, I will get onto the new lobby as soon as I can. as soon as we can, and then we'll be underway. I'll see you again in a couple of minutes. So while we're just waiting for the new lobby, just very quickly about this racetrack. I'm sure a lot of you may know, but it was built to wind between a lot of the venues that we used for the Winter Olympics in 2014, including going past where they used to do the medal ceremony as well, at the end of the pit straight, that is, or the end of the straight between turns 1 and 2. So have a little look out for them. I'm sure you'll see some of those venues as we're going along. On paper it's a good racetrack here, but if you watched the 10v10 we had the other day, also the reverse grid event we had the other day, it doesn't lead to the greatest of races here. Very, very flat circuit, not very much in the way of elevation change at all. And as I said earlier on, it is a Mercedes stronghold. They've won every single time that we've raced here. So let's see if they're able to replicate that this evening with their two drivers, Dean Barry and Ant Waddington. So it does look as if we're getting underway now. A lot of the drivers are back in the lobby. Hopefully it won't be long before Q1 is underway. Don't forget, as I said, I have got the Twitch open on my phone, so if anybody wants any shout outs or any mentions at all, please don't hesitate to leave a comment on the chat section on Twitch, and I'll do my best to answer some of them. Any questions at all you've got for me, or any comments on the race in general, I will do my best to answer whichever comment I can see. Just waiting now for the last couple of drivers to enter, and then hopefully we'll be underway here. There's one more driver to come, and then we will be good to go. So I've just been told that the latest we'll be starting is at 8:15. So that's 3.5 minutes from now. So sorry for everyone for the delay. Mr. Joe Newman, it's all your fault. So, a couple of predictions coming in here. We got Ant Waddington saying that possibly Dizzy in the top 10. Well, I think he could. He had some good pace in the midweek event we did on Wednesday, so that is possibly. And Ant's also saying we could see a surprise winner. Giles is saying Gregor Telford for the win. Well, strange things have happened. Not much, but stranger things have happened in Formula 1. Michael Booker said maybe if they were going backwards he would win. Yeah, that's a fair point there, Michael. So who knows here? It'll be quite an open race, I think. Lots of slipstreaming in the first few laps. So a couple of minutes to go, everyone, and then we will be underway. Sorry again for the delays. A few technical issues. I think with the current situation, I think everyone being online, I've certainly read that Xbox Live is struggling and a lot of the internet servers are struggling with so many people using it at the moment. So Mr. Joe Newman doesn't appear to be finally on his way. So hopefully we'll be underway as soon as possible. Another prediction here is for Boss Cookie. So that's Patrick Carrasco to win the race. Well, I wouldn't put it past him, but I think the Renault might struggle with straight line speed here. One of the lesser powered cars on the grid, but we've seen it before from him. He's picked up podiums in racetracks you really didn't expect them to. Monza he was running very, very well as well, and at Spa he got on the podium. So who knows what can happen here. Drivers are starting to ready up now. And of course, with George joining the league, of course, you heard the announcement in the midweek event about the two leagues joining together, TIR and TOTD. And now we've got one of their drivers in our league. So drivers are now readying up. We'll be underway any second now. Prediction for one of my fellow commentators from F2, who isn't actually commentating tonight. I think he's watching the stream. Good evening, Steve Harris. Joe to get front wing damage. Possibly. He's certainly did that a lot in the midweek event, didn't he? So who knows? Ant Waddington said Binnett, Matt. I'm not quite sure what that is referring to, but I'm sure he will enlighten me at some point. So here we go. Q1 is about to get underway. We have an 18-minute session for Q1, for those of you that don't know. The bottom 5, the slowest 5 from Q1, will not take part in Q2. We lose the slowest 5 cars at the end of this session. 18 minutes, as I said. So for a lot of the top teams, certainly the top 3 teams, it's just a case of getting through. Looks very overcast there, so you never know what's going to happen with the weather. And here we go. Oh, apparently it's Boss Cookie to bin it, not to win it. Yes, I do apologise. Arthur Bowler said it's Boss Cookie to bin it, so you never know. And good evening, Scott. Great to have you watching this evening. Beer and Kebab, my commentator partner for the 10v10 for the last couple of times, reckons he'll be Dizzy first, Dizzy second and Dizzy third, but of course he's not biased at all, one of his drivers racing this evening. And Telfie reckons he's going to get one of the podiums. Like I said, stranger things have happened, not much, but they have. So, here we see now cars heading out onto the track. First car out is Mr. Patrick Roscoe. He is the first car. He does like to be the first car out on the track, doesn't he? We've seen it from him quite a few times. And behind him is Ant Waddington. He too is heading out onto the track as well. So is Dean Barry in the other Mercedes and Anthony Bowers. We've got quite a few cars heading out onto the track immediately. Arthur Bowler out as well. George Massey, the newcomer, is out as well. Joe Newman still having some technical issues by the looks of it. Thought he'd joined for a second, but he's left again. So I do hope, Joe, you can get those issues sorted out. Ollie out as well in the other racing point. So is Sam in the McLaren. So quite a lot of cars heading out onto track. Okay, I'm being told there's a few sound problems. Let me just sort this out to be able to hear me a little bit more. So, and a very generous offer from Michael there, offering to buy Greg a drink if he does if he gets a podium. Yeah, I think I'll join in on that as well. I'll buy you a drink as well, Greg, if he's on the podium. Easiest money I've ever saved in my life. So, anyway, Patrick is now on his flying lap and Waddington right behind him as they're coming through this middle part of the lap. Yellow flag in sector 3. It's possibly just someone getting out of the way for a quicker car. And Patrick with a bit of oversteer there. But he will just about get away with that. Lose a little bit of time. Then into this curving back straight. I will try and do an onboard lap with someone as we go round. Almost everyone now out on track. Joe still with some problems, and only Gregor and Scott still in the pits, the two Toro Rossos. And I'm being told that the weather forecast is for rain at the end of the race. Dry for qualifying, rain at the end of the race. Thank you to Michael and to Callum for giving me that information. So Patrick goes fastest, immediately beat by Ant Waddington, 1:32.9. And Joe Newman is going to start at the back of the pack. So Anthony Bauer goes fastest on a 1:32.5. He's scored the last 5 pole positions in a row here, or this season. Anthony Bauer, can he maintain that momentum this evening? So Ant quicker than Dean, Patrick third, and Arthur Bowler has gone into the 5th position. Here comes Callum, his first qualifying lap in the Red Bull. He goes 5th, Sam goes 6th, and then Dan goes 7th immediately. So here is one of the newcomers, Tom Cosme in the Haas. He'll be looking to impress, and Haas have made such a big jump up the World Championship table, as I said earlier on, after that win from Jamie Keats in the last race. Has really helped him. Gareth picking up points as well, as he has done almost every race this season. You heard from his manager earlier on, Gareth just consistently picks up points race after race, and he did it again last time out. Always manages to finish the race. I'm going to do an onboard lap with our newcomer, Tom Cosme. So these are the last 2 corners. Very important to get your traction here, and here we go over the line, and we're heading down towards turn 1. DRS opens in the middle just before turn 1, and then it's absolutely battling up to 210 miles an hour. Keep it on the left hand side and brake very, very late into turn 2, 80 miles an hour on the apex, through the little left hand plate, then turn 3, just acceleration zone in qualifying trim, up to about 190 miles an hour on the exit. Oh, keep it onto the left hand side, turn 4, 100 miles an hour on the exit, a little bit wide there from Tom on the exit, turn 4, short straight down from turn 5, third gear, 80 miles an hour, lots of curve on the exit, turn 6, absolutely flat, then into turn 7, down to 105 miles an hour in 4th gear, back over to the right hand side. This is turn 8 and 9, 105 miles an hour, 9 is flat, then down to turn 10, 85 miles an hour. Important again here, this is the second DRS, so this is turns 11 and 12, DRS and before. These are counting 2 corners here, 11 and then 12. Bring it over to the left hand side as late as possible, very, very hard on the brake, 60 miles an hour for turn 13, and turn 14 and 15. Again, just let it run out to the exit down towards the chicane. Turns 17 and 18, 60 miles an hour, slowest corner on the circuit there, 80 miles an hour for the second part. Then down towards the last 2 corners, turns 18 and 19, 85 miles an hour through the first part, short version throttle, 65 for the second part, and then over the line. And Tom Cosme goes 7th. That's a very good effort from him, considering we saw that mistake from him. Scott Larvin has retired from the session. He went out on the medium tyres, possibly a mistake somewhere from him. Yes, he's gone off, from what I can see, down at turn 14. So Scott Larvin has hit the wall, and he's out of qualifying. He is going to start next to his former teammate on the back row of the grid here is Scott, down in 19th position. So that means just 3 now will not make it through. As George Massey in the Alfa Romeo has gone 4th fastest. Excellent lap time for him on his debut in this league. Anthony Bowers going back out again. Let's see who I can find. There's Ken Helgestad with the Williams. He's gone 12th. There is Matt in the Alfa Romeo as Giles goes up to 12th now. He beats his teammate. Great lap from him as Matt goes up to 12th in the Alfa Romeo. So the lap time's coming in thick and fast. Patrick feels he's done enough. He's retired from the session. So he feels that he's done enough. 5th at the moment. His teammate is currently 16th, not had the greatest starts to the session. Here is Gregor Telford in the Toro Rosso. Yes, Joe Newman's confirming the fact he is in, will be on the grid, but he will be starting at the back of the grid. So here comes Gregor. Through the last corner, let's see where he goes. He moves up to 15th on a 1:35.9. We've got Gareth Lambourne and Matt Anderson. Matt Anderson goes up to 15th now as well. So we're just waiting for Ollie now to set a lap time. So we heard from his manager Michael Booker earlier saying he's not the quickest round here, but he's had really very unlucky at Singapore. Scott Larvin, if you remember, had that puncture on the first lap and spun in the very tricky stadium section, and a lot of cars just avoided him, but Ollie unfortunately hit the back of him and was forced out of the race. But the race before that at Monza, he finished an excellent fourth, his best result of the season. Also drove well in the reverse grid event midweek as well, if you remember, finished third in that championship. As Anthony Bauer has gone out again and he's set a lap time much quicker than anyone else. A 1:32.3, over a second quicker, just under a second quicker than his teammate. Arthur Bowler's gone up to 4 in the racing point. Here is his teammate Ollie coming through to complete his first flying lap. Comes down to the last couple of corners. Gareth Lambourne's gone out again as well in the Hassie, 17th at the moment. So Ollie goes across the line and he goes 13th on a 1:34.1. I will try and see if I can just very quickly get Scott Larvin in for a quick interview, just see what happened with him on his qualifying lap. So there is the order. Anthony Bauer fastest by 5.5 tenths of a second from Ant Waddington. Dean third going out again. Arthur Bowler in fourth. We've got George Massey in fifth. Patrick in sixth. Callum seventh. John Cosme eighth. Stephen ninth and Dan Blackwell is the top 10. I have been joined by Mr. Scott Larvin. Just make sure your audio is included, please, mate, just so everyone on the stream can hear you. Good evening, Scott. How are you?
Good evening, mate. I was alright.
Well, I saw that you were, I think it was down at the chicane at the end of the lap. Did you outbrake yourself there?
No, I was just coming along the back straight, DRS, into the right-hander and just hit the brakes and went straight on into the barrier. Just car wouldn't turn.
And you were on the medium tyres as well, so it wasn't a lap grip as well.
Yeah, definitely. Being a bit green on the truck as well.
Yes, definitely. So you'll be starting on the back row alongside your old teammate Joe. How do you think you're going to do in the race? And what's your aim from there?
Well, maybe try and get top 10 if I can still. I reckon there'll be a few accidents, maybe a safety car will let me get some places. Obviously, different strategy now than what I was going to go with, so we'll have to see what happens in the race. First couple of laps. Yeah,
and you were very, very unlucky. We were just talking about last time out in Singapore, you got a puncture on lap 1 and you just couldn't recover from it quickly at the last race.
No, that was just horrible. Like, it took me so long to get the car back. I was just spinning it on every corner. Just couldn't keep control of it. Absolutely ruined.
Yes, definitely, because you were looking quite quick around there. But, well, good luck for the race, Scott. I hope it goes better for you than last week in qualifying. And
I hope so
I'll
too,
speak to you later on.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
No problem. So, we're down into the last 5 minutes of qualifying now. We've seen quite a few cars have retired from the session feeling they've done enough. Here is Ken Helberstad. He's gone out on the same set of soft tyres, which is quite an interesting tactic. He also thinks he can go quicker than them. He's half a tenth slower than his teammate. But at the moment, both Williams are going through. Matt Anderson, Gareth Lambourne and Gregor Telford are all out of the session at the moment. And of course, we've just heard from Scott, who is out of the race. So here comes Ken coming through this middle part of the track. You really need a car set up well for there. So quite high speed corners. And he's not pushing on this lap. He's got this ERS turned down to nothing. So here is Gareth Lamborn, and he too has backed out of this lap. So if he has enough fuel, he might do another one. Greg Telford's going out as well. So is Matt Anderson in the Renault. Those are the three at the moment in the bottom five. There's no Joe Newman starting at the back, and Scott is out of the session. So here is Gregor. He's getting a great tow off the back of one of the Red Bulls. It is Callum Harris. Look at the slingshot again, and Callum moves across. Possibly a little bit of teamwork going on there for the two Honda-powered cars. Same manager, of course, in Joe Allen. So possibly a little bit of teamwork just going on there to try and help Greg get a little bit more straight line speed. He is slowest of the cars who've set a lap time so far, but let's see how much that's helped him. He's 2/10 up in the first sector just from that slipstream. Does go to show just how much of a difference that slipstream makes around here. Another yellow flag in sector 3 as cars I think are just getting out of the way. So can Gregor improve on his lap time? Stephen Harrison's moved up into third in the other Ferrari, 132.9 on tyres that done 3 laps, so that's a good effort there from Stephen. And Gregor again about a quarter of a second up in the middle section of his previous best. This might just see him off the back of the grid. It's him and Garrett who we've seen together so many times on track and very close together in qualifying. They're continuing their little love affair at the back of the grid there as Callum does pit. He's done his job and pit. So Gregor now comes through the last corner and he does improve, but it's not enough. Oh, he does improve. He has 1 place up to 17. He has enough fuel. He should have just enough time to get round. So Matt Anderson 6 cents up in the first sector. This will be enough at the moment if he can maintain it. He did a second up in the middle sector. This would jump him up several places and knock one of the Williams out. Gareth has retired from the session. He cannot improve. He's not out on track. He's going to start in 18th position. So Matt Anderson, where can he put this Renault as we enter the last minute of the session? And he goes up to 13th on a 1:33.75, nearly a second. It could all be down to the two Williams here as to who knocks each other out. Here is Jack in the, at the moment, the lead Williams. He has backed out of this lap. He did improve on his previous lap. Can Ken? It's going to be very close. Okay, let's look at we can actually start this lap at all because he's got less than 10 seconds. I don't think he's going to do it. So Ken Helbershad, no he's not. He is out of the session. So the only person now who can improve is this man, Greg, who's still pushing by the looks of it. No, he has backed out of it. His ERS is off. So there we have the session has been finished. Not quite enough for Ken. Is there anyone else on a lap at the moment? Yes, here is Matt in the Alfa Romeo. He doesn't need to complete this lap. He might do this for pride. His teammate is up in 6th. And yes, he's backed out of it. He's realised he doesn't need to improve anymore. Matt Anderson likewise has done more than enough and is through. So there we have the end of Q1 and an ominous tone already coming there from the Ferrari team. Anthony Bauer quickest by over half a second from Matt Waddington in the Mercedes. Stephen Harrison 3rd, Dean Barry 4th. So the top 2 teams dominating the first part of qualifying. Arthur Bowler 5th. Good effort from George in his first qualifying session. 6th at the end of Q1. Patrick 7th, Callum 8th, Tom Cosme in 9th in the Haas. Dan Blackwell in 10th, Ollie 11th. Sam Congreve 12th, Matt Anderson with that good lap at the end of the session comes 13th. Then it's Matt Pielko in the Alfa Romeo 14th. Then we've got Jack Giles in 15th place for Williams. Once again, we've seen the last few races, Williams makes it into the second part of qualifying. Ken Helberstad, first race for Williams, he lines up in 16th position, and Gregor Telford in 17th, a fraction faster than Gareth Lambourne, who's 18th. Scott Larvin, we heard, he crashed out, and Joe Newman is going to start at the back of the grid. So that is the end of Q1. We now move into Q2. We lose 3 minutes off the time. Waiting now for the session to reload. So here we go, into Q2. Like I said, we lose 3 minutes off the session time. We're down to 15 minutes for Q2. And again, for those of you that don't know, the cars who finish in the top 10, they have to start the race on whichever tyres in this session they set their fastest lap time on. So that is crucial, and this is where we so often see changes of strategies going on. We see some cars going out on medium tyres. You can see there already we've got one of the Red Bulls, Callum Harrod, going out on medium. So is Anthony Bauer. So is Tom Cosby, so is Ollie, and Stephen Harrison. So both Ferraris, both racing points as well. Arthur Bowler's going out as well on a set of medium tyres. So some teams, well, the Red Bull have gone for split strategy, it would seem. Whereas others are keeping the same strategy for both cars. And look at the stream of cars that's already out. Matt Anderson there leading the pits as well. And Arthur Bowler, he's left the pits much earlier than anyone else. So literally as soon as the session started, Arthur jumped out of the pit lane. So he's going to be the first man to settle that. Look out as well. We've seen it in the last couple of races affect the results. Look out for penalties. It's so easy around here to get a penalty. Run a little bit wide in one corner, slightly overcut another one. It's so easy to get time penalties, and I think we are going to see a lot of penalties in this race. And as Scott said, maybe the odd safety car or two. Of course, if you remember the race last year, that corner there that Arthur's just exited, someone crashed into it in the race and just dislodged the wall and the tyre barrier, and so many cars were caught out by it toward the end of the race. So Arthur Bowler now on his first flying lap, and behind that is Matt Pielko in the Alfa Romeo. He is now also on his first flying lap. And there is a car just come out ahead. I think it might be Giles in the Williams, possibly, has come out ahead of Arthur Bowler. Hopefully that he won't get in the way. So he heads into turn 4. No, gets nicely out of the way there. So well done, Jack. First race for us this evening, and he gets nicely out of the way of Arthur on a flying lap. He's on the medium tyres as well, Arthur. But we know that racing point has been very, very good in qualifying. Always yellow flag in sector 1. I think there's some contact down there. He's going to very quickly try and find it. I'm not sure, but I think it was Dan Blackwell and one of them. Maybe they were just trying to get out of the way of someone. But I saw them very, very close on the driver track there. And Arthur Bowler's had this lap disallowed. That's so easy to do around here. Here comes Matt. in the Alfa Romeo. So Arthur now going to back right out of this, and there you can see the Racing Point crawling very, very slowly. He had this up this loud, so Matt here in the Alfa Romeo is going to go temporarily fastest. There's more cars getting out of the way in the middle of the curving back straight as Matt goes fastest on a 33.9. Here comes Patrick in the Renault. I think just in front of him as Anthony Bauer goes fastest. Stephen Harrison goes second. Dean Barry goes third. Patrick's backed out of this lap. He too's had this lap. Ollie goes fifth. Dan Blackwell sixth. He's had a very slow lap. So here is Sam Connery getting a great tow for back of Dan here. Down the main straight. And look at that, George Massey goes second in the Alfa Romeo. Great lap from him. Quicker than both Ferraris at the moment. Yes, the Ferraris are on the medium tyre, but still George is some 3/4 of a second quicker than the quickest Ferrari. So excellent effort from him. Here comes Sam. Callum's decided to pit on those mediums. Is he going to go back out on the same tyres, or is he going to switch strategies and go to the softs? Let's see how Sam gets on here on his first flying lap. And Waddington also on a lap as well. There he is. He's just started his first flying lap. Matt Anderson's on a lap as well. He's had his first lap disallowed. There is Jack coming through now to complete his first flying lap. As he goes over the line and he goes up into 8th place. Here is Arthur. This lap has not been disallowed. And he goes 9th on the 39.2. So still a pretty slow lap. Look at the amount of traffic there. As Sam goes through the last couple of corners. Callum Harrod's gone back out on the same set of medium tyres. But Sam goes across the line. He goes 5th. Excellent lap from him. Here comes Patrick in the Renault. He's currently not set a lap time. He goes fastest of all. A 1:32.4. He'll be delighted with that. Matt Anderson's had 2 laps disallowed now. Here is Ant Waddington on his first flying lap in the Mercedes. Let's see how he gets on. This is his first lap. And he goes up to 6th on the medium tyres. So not that much slower than the 2 Ferraris. So that's a little bit of encouragement there, because Ferrari looked so strong after the first part of qualifying. So much quicker than anyone else. And Waddington there on the medium tyres as well seems to have done a pretty good job. Here is Callum Harrod on his first flying lap. Let's see how he can do. His teammate's only done a 53.9, so it's a very slow out lap. Not sure if he made a mistake or if it's tactical there. But here comes Callum Harrod through that long, demanding turn 3. And you've got to get it over to the left-hand side as quick as you can there to get into turn 4. Down into 5. It's very much like a street track in a lot of places here. You've got the walls very close to the track. But then there, places like there, you can see as Callum's had this lap disallowed. So Callum has run a little bit wide. As I said, it's very, very easy to get a penalty here. And he's currently has not set a lap time. He's on his out lap. So I thought he was on his quick lap, but there we go. So, Dan Blackwell has gone out on a brand new set of soft tyres. So he's on a brand new set of soft tyres, and he'll be certainly hoping to get up there with the likes of George Massey, for example, in 3rd place. Now Anthony Bauer switched to a set of soft tyres. Are they going for a change of strategy here at Ferrari? Or are they just covering themselves just in case? They're 4th and 5th at the moment. They're only, well, they're just over a second clear of the drop zone, so you would think that would be enough, but you never know. We've seen the lap times change so quickly. Arthur Bowler, you would think, is going to make a stop. He goes up to 6th on a 33.9, so that's a good lap time on those medium tyres, quicker than Ant Waddington, and that's his 4th lap on those tyres as well. Here is Dan Blackwell. Callum's gone back into the pits again. But Dan Blackwell, 153.9, so he should be a lot quicker on this lap. At the moment, neither Red Bull are into the third bar of qualifying. They'll be desperate to change that as quickly as possible. There we see the curb cam. Lantec giving a nice wide berth through that long turn 3. Let's see how he is in comparison to his previous lap. First sector is nearly 8 seconds up. So it'll be interesting to see where Dan can go with this lap time. Had a difficult couple of races. He was running second in the Drivers' Championship, but has slipped down from there now. He's now in 3rd, and Red Bull has slipped from 3rd in the Championship to 5th, so they will be desperate for some big points here this evening, to get themselves back up, certainly ahead of the Racing Point, and close down that 43-point gap to Renault now for 3rd place. As Dan has gone purple in the middle sector, that's the fastest of anybody so far. Patrick Horosco is fastest. Now look at Matt in the other Alfa Romeo, has gone 4th. So excellent effort from both Alfa Romeos. Dan Blackwell goes up to 4th now on the 33.1. Anthony Bauer has gone back out on a set of brand new soft tyres. Here is Tom Cosme in the Haas. He's currently in 11th position. Let's see if he can improve on that. He needs to find about 0.2 of a second to get himself into the top 10. So Tom comes around the final corner and he goes up to 5th. So excellent lap again from the Haas. So some really great lap times going in here from the newcomers to the series. Great to see. Here is Ollie in the Racing Point. He is currently in 12th position. Hasn't really set a representative lap time. His teammate is up in 9th. That Ferrari just about got out of his way. Possibly get a little bit of teamwork going on there. Maybe that is why Anthony Bauer went out to give Ollie a bit of extra toe there. Managed by the same person, of course, in Michael Booker we heard from earlier. Callum's started his flying lap as well. Still waiting for Matt Anderson to head out on track. We've got 3 minutes to go. Matt was out earlier but had a couple of laps disallowed. So easily done round here. So here is Ollie. Needs to find quite a lot to get himself into the top 10, but like I said, I don't think he set a representative lap time last time around. Let's see how he's doing in the middle sector. He is 3/4 of a second up at the moment. That lifts him ahead of Giles, ahead of Jack, sorry, in 12th position. But everyone now is going out on a set of soft tyres. So all those strategies before that we saw with the Ferraris, etc., going out on medium tyres, that's all being negated here because everyone is going so much quicker than I think they were all expecting. Ollie moves up to 6th on a 33.3. He's really starting to put a bit of pressure on the 2 Ferraris. Anthony Bauer pits. Stephen Harrison hasn't gone out yet, as Callum Harrod goes up into 4th place. So the 2 Red Bulls are 4th and 5th. And look who's right on the verge of dropping out the top 10. Anthony Bauer and Stephen Harrison. They are in 9th and 10th position. Here is Ant Waddington. He's currently 12th, but it is so close in that midfield battle. We've got just over half a second separating 7th and 13th. So one missed braking zone here could cost you getting into the top 10 shootout. How is Ant doing in the Mercedes? He is 4/10 up in the first sector. That would lift him into the top 10 and knock out one of the two Ferraris. Can he maintain this? Matt Anderson out there as well, as Patrick goes even quicker. A 1:32.3. Tom Cosme has retired from the session. Not sure if he's had an accident or just decided to retire out on track. We'll soon find out. But here comes Ant Waddington. Can he get himself into the top 10? Arthur Bowler's out there as well. Stephen Harrison has gone out, but Anthony Bauer hasn't. Is that an error from Ferrari? They were using it to give Ollie a slipstream, and now he hasn't got enough time to get his own lap in, and he's down in 9th position. There's some quick cars down there in the bottom 5. This is one of them. Ant Waddington, 12th at the moment. He's on a much better lap. They should see him comfortably into the top 10, and he goes second at 32.5. That knocks Stephen Harrison out of the session. Here comes Arthur Bowler. He's half a second up on his personal best. So this should lift him somewhere in and around his teammate, who's 8th at the moment. So well, we've seen Stephen Harrison knocked out in the first part of qualifying before. I don't think we've seen both Ferraris out. And yes, Arthur Bowler goes up to 4th place. A 1:32.5. Who else is in qualified? Here is Matt. Don't forget, Matt was up in 4th place at one point, and he's now dropped back into 10th. He's just started his lap, and the two Ferraris are out of the session. Anthony Bauer did not get round in time to start his lap. Here is Matt Anderson. Can he inflict further misery on the two Ferraris and knock them even further down? So that is a massive development here. Both Ferraris are out in Q2. We saw Anthony Bauer giving a slipstream to Ollie, and Ollie's ended up beating his lap time, and there wasn't enough time for Anthony to come back in and set another lap. And Matt Anderson's had this lap disallowed, so he is not going to improve. And Matt's also given up on this lap as well. So we have our bottom 5. Matt Anderson struggled a little bit pushing so hard, but he's going to line up 15th on the grid. Jack Giles, his first race for Williams, he's going to be in 14th position. Sam Connery would be a little bit disappointed, I think, with that, given the pace he's had in some of the previous races. He's going to be in 13th position. And for the first time in 5 races, we're going to have a different person on pole position, because Anthony Bauer and Stephen Harrison are going to start 11th and 12th on the grid. The top 10, Patrick Roscoe in the Renault. I've got to say, this throws qualifying wide open now, doesn't it? With the two Ferraris, who looked so strong in Q1, both out of the session. This has thrown qualifying wide open. Patrick Cricket, then it's the two Mercedes, 2nd and 3rd, Anthony Dean. Arthur Bowler 4th, the race's point, also looking strong there. George Massey doing a fabulous job on his first race in the league. He was 5th fastest there in Q2. Then it's the two Red Bulls in 6th and 7th. They abandoned their medium tyre run. They're 6th and 7th. Canham out qualifying down at the moment. Tom Cosme, also a newcomer. He's also through to Q3. He was 8th fastest. Ollie 9th in the second racing point, and the second Alfa Romeo, another newcomer, Matt in the Alfa Romeo, is 10th. So it's great to see that in that top 10 we've got 3 newcomers. Absolutely great to see. Session is now over. We're waiting for Q3, when we're down to just 12 minutes and just the top 10 shootout. They all get given an extra set of tyres for this session as well. So if they've been able to save a set from the previous 2 qualifying sessions, then hopefully they can use them here. Yes, Joe Newman also on the chat on Twitch noticed the Ferrari giving the racing point and a Haas a tow. Well, it hasn't really worked for them, has it? Because they're both out of the session. and the two races and points and Tom Cosme are both through, so it's backfired badly there for the Ferrari team. Red Bull also gave McLaren's a tow out there as well. Not really worked though for them, unfortunately, either. Sam 13th on the grid. And Joe also praising Jack for his first qualifying session in the Williams. I've got to admit, that was a very good lap time from him to be 14th on the grid, out qualifying his teammate Ken, who of course we saw have such a brilliant race last time out in Singapore. And qualifying session, Ken did make it through. But as Callum said earlier, that Williams is very, very difficult to drive. So we're into Q3. 12 minutes of this session. It's already underway. They should get 2 runs in quite comfortably here. Lap times in the 1:30s. So they should get in 2 runs quite comfortably. And like I said, if you were able to save a set of soft tyres in the first or second part of qualifying, you get given another set. So you'd have 2 sets of tyres. They're all streaming out of the pits. There we can see them. We've got, again, Arthur. We've seen this from him quite a few times, haven't we? He's the first one out there. Is Matt out as well? George Massey going out. Patrick out as well. But with the 2 Ferraris out, as I said before, this is throwing qualifying wide open, and it's going to be brilliant to watch for these 10 minutes, nearly 11 minutes that's left. And I think there's 4 or 5 cars here who could snatch pole position. I think Patrick could be in the running. Both Red Bulls could be in there as well. And both Mercedes could be in there as well. Only Ant Waddington is still in the pits. We did see him having to use an extra set of soft tyres to get through there, didn't we? So maybe that's why he's decided to stay in the pits for now. But as I say that, he is leaving the pits, so possibly just trying to get himself a bit of clear air. There is so much traffic in the middle sector. It could have been quite a smart move by Ant there, just keep himself out of the way of everyone else, have a clear run. Just hope he doesn't get in the way of Arthur, who's coming through the final corner now to start his first flying lap here in Q3. He could be a dark horse as well here. We heard Michael Booker saying earlier that Arthur's looking very quick around here. So he too could be a dark horse. Again, had a good race in Singapore. Crashed towards the end under a safety car, just after a safety car, but recovered brilliantly to come home in 5th position, just behind Ken Halberstad in the Alfa Romeo, who had a brilliant race. And Arthur's had this lap disallowed. And so has Patrick. So it's the 2 Red Bulls. Look like they are streaming each other here. Very close together through there. Now, is Callum backing out of it and letting Dan go? Or is he staying on it? No, he's not backing out of it at the moment. So possibly still going for it, but he doesn't want to be... Well, you would say that's a bit too close, really. That could be giving Dan a bit of dirty air. Ant Waddington is now on his outlap. So it really could be. We heard earlier in the chat comments on Twitch that thank you for everyone who's commenting on there, by the way, this evening. It's great to see some feedback. But we did hear earlier on that they said it could be an unusual result here this evening, and I think the qualifying could be an unusual result just to start. With everyone pushing so hard, it's easy to make a mistake and end up having that disallowed. So Matt Pielko in the Alfa Romeo goes fastest on a 1:33.6. Ollie goes quickest now, 33.5. The 2 Red Bulls do look very quick. Can they get themselves up there? Tom Cosme goes fastest in the Haas, 1:32.9. He's on provisional pole. Here comes Callum goes fastest. Dan goes 3rd. So Callum Harrod, first race for Red Bull, is Now Dean Barry's beaten it. Dean Barry goes quickest, 32.5. Has Patrick got enough fuel to do another lap? And Waddington's on a lap as well. Fastest in the first sector. It's a great opportunity for him as well here, with the Ferraris out of the session. Let's see how he can do through the rest of this lap. Coming down toward the end of sector 2. He was purple in the first sector. Not quite in the second sector, but I reckon he'll be there or thereabouts. We'll certainly be looking for the front 2 rows. Tom Cosby, what an effort from him at the moment. Quicker than one of the Red Bulls. And currently in 3rd on the grid. What a result this would be for the Haas team. So Ant Waddington coming through now. Arthur Bowler's come in at the end of the lap and has immediately gone back out again. George Massey also had his lap disallowed, unfortunately, his first run. And Ant Waddington goes second. It's a Mercedes 1-2 as it stands. A 1:32.7 from Ant Waddington, a fraction faster than Callum. Here comes George Massey across the line and he goes 3rd. Just 1,000th of a second slower than the Mercedes of Ant Waddington. What a lap from George Massey, and that's on tyres that have done 2 laps. So he also could be one to watch out for here. So Patrick has abandoned this run. So the order at the moment, and what a grid we're looking at here. Dean Barry fastest, Ant Waddington in second place, George Massey 3rd on the grid for Alfa Romeo. What an effort that would be from him. Callum Harrod 4th, Tom Cosby 5th, 6th for Dan Blackwell in the second of the 2 Red Bulls, 7th for Ollie in the Racing Point. Matt in the second Alfa Romeo is 8th, and then we're just waiting for 2 cars to sell a lap. This is one of them, Arthur Bowler. He's on his out lap now and just coming through to complete that. So he's starting his first flying lap. Now his teammate is currently 7th, but we know Arthur has looked very quick around here. Good evening to Kai. Thank you so much for watching on the stream. Joe Newman there talking about the disgusting pace of George Massey. It was an excellent lap time and not far away from being on the front row of the grid either. So excellent effort. Can Arthur Bowler get himself up there? First sector. Very good first sector. Purple, in fact. So quickest first sector of anyone from Arthur Bowler. We know that Racing Point normally is very good in a straight line. Let's see how it goes through the twistier parts of the track here in the middle sector. Just about keeping it in the lines as he comes into the second DRS zone. Very, very tricky braking zone down here in turns 13 and 14. It's so easy, but turning left and having to slow it down. And he's purple again in the middle sector. Can Arthur Bowler stick a Racing Point on pole position here? What a lap this would be. We're all starting to stream out on track again now. Patrick's gone back out again, so have the 2 Red Bulls. Here comes Arthur Bowler. It's been a cracking lap so far. Can he spoil Mercedes' party at the front of the grid? Arthur Bowler comes through and he does. He sets fastest lap of the session so far. A 1:32.2. Arthur Bowler on provisional pole position here. What a start to the race this would be if he can take pole position. He's been threatening it for a few races and right now he's there on pole position. What an effort from him. 3.5 minutes to go. Has he got enough fuel? No, this lap's been disallowed. I think he's going to struggle for time. That's the only thing here. I think he's going to struggle for time to get back round and get another set of tyres on and get back out again. He's pushing it very, very hard still. I still think he's going to struggle for time to do that. So Patrick is on a hot lap now. Here he is in the Renault. He's the only person to set a lap time so far. And Jack Giles on Twitch. Great lap from Dizzy. Indeed it was. 4th at the moment. There's Racing Point from the 2 Mercedes from Alfa Romeo is the top 4. Callum Harrod and Dan Blackwell have both started their lap, and again, they are slipstreaming each other. So it seems to be working for them. Normally you would say that close together, you'd be getting horrible dirty air from both cars, or from the car in front, but it seems to be working for them. They're 5th and 7th at the moment. And Dan is a couple of tenths up. So Patrick now coming through the last chicane to complete his lap. That's his last two 90-degree right-handers to finish the lap. Comes around the final corner, and Patrick Orozco goes second on the grid, a 1:32.3. What a lap time from him as well. We've got just under 2 minutes to go. Practically everyone is out on the track. Here is Dan. He's backed out of this lap. He's been disallowed. That's changed. He was slightly up on this second, so we've got a racing point from Renault on the front row of the grid. Who would have predicted that before we started? And Arthur Bowler has retired from the session. He hasn't had enough time to get back out. Will that lap time be enough? Callum goes up to 4th. So he also now splits the two Mercedes, who are both out on track. Here is George Massey. He's having a slower lap. See if I can find someone else out on a lap. Here is Ollie in the Racing Point. His teammate on pole position. He will certainly be looking to get closer than he is at the moment. 1.3 seconds. It has been usually quite a lot closer between those two Racing Points. Matt Pielko out as well. He starts his flying lap. So everyone apart from Arthur Bowler in the pits is out on track now. We've got 30 seconds to go. I said this could be an unusual qualifying session, and it certainly is at the moment. We're not seeing any of the top 3 teams on the front row of the grid here. Here comes Ollie coming through to complete the second sector. How much more can he improve? Needs to find about 6/10 of a second to get himself up from his current 9th on the grid. Can he do that? And Patrick's gone into the pits as well. So the top 2 on the grid, I think at the moment, cannot set a lap time. They definitely can't. So the session is now over. And Waddington is saying he's on an out lap, so I don't think he's actually got round in time. Here comes Dean Barry. And Dan fails to improve as well, so Dan stays... sorry, did improve up into 5th place. So Dan Blackwell up to 5th. Here comes Dean Barry in the Mercedes, pushing so high. Dean Barry takes pole position. A 1:32.1. It wasn't quite enough from Arthur. He takes pole position. Here is George Massey. He's a fraction up in the first sector. Here is Tom Cosby. He too is going quicker. As is, here is Matt in the Alfa Romeo. Can he move up to 10th? He goes 9th. Goes 9th. Here is Tom Cosby coming through the last corner, and he remains in 8th position. George Massey slightly up in the first sector. Can he get himself up? He was up in 4th place at one point. And Waddington improves to 4th, and Waddington goes up to 4th in the second Mercedes. So now it is just this man, George Massey, who can improve. He's 7th at the moment. But what a debut for a lot of these. I mean, that's been disallowed, so that is it. So there we go. That is the end of the session, and Dean Barry takes pole position, and he gets that extra point. Don't forget, you get a point for pole position here. So Dean Barry already with a point in the bag. Arthur Bowler, what an effort from him to be second on the grid on the front row. Patrick 3rd for the Renault team, and Waddington 4th. Row 3 are the 2 Red Bulls. We heard from Callum he's going to help his teammate out as much as he can, and he's out-qualified him here by about a 10th and a half. 5th and 6th on the grid for the 2 Red Bulls. George Massey, great effort in the Alfa Romeo in his first race. He lines up in 7th. Tom Cosme as well in the Haas 8th, Matt Pielko 9th in the second of the 2 Alfa Romeos. Those 3 brand newcomers to the grid. And it is great to see those 3 right up there. And Ollie Cernan in the Racing Point finishes out the top 10. Well, what a session. It's already been an unusual qualifying session. Are we going to see an unusual race here? It is a track that, you know, you do see occasionally, apart from Mercedes winning it all the time. We saw a Racing Point or Force India on the podium a few years ago. It is not impossible for unusual results to be thrown up here. But there we see confirmation of the grid. And now we have a few minutes break. I will join you again in a couple of minutes for the start of the Russian Grand Prix. It promises to be an absolute cracker. So, good evening everyone, and welcome to round 16 of the Talk of the Devil World Championship, the Russian Grand Prix here in Sochi. Sochi is the largest seaside resort city in Russia. It is on the Black Sea coast, and it's not far from the Russian border with Georgia. Russia did actually nearly join the F1 calendar back in 1983. There was a street circuit planned around the streets of Moscow, and then it dropped off at the last minute. But then in 2010, especially after Russian driver Vitaly Petrov and then later on Daniel Kvyat joined the grid, interest in Formula 1 in Russia grew massively, and it's been announced that there would be a Grand Prix held here from 2014 onwards. The track itself, as we mentioned earlier, winds itself around a lot of the venues used for the 2014 Winter Olympics, also held in Sochi. It passes places like the ice hockey arena, the ice skating arena, and many others, including the Olympic Stadium, which was used for the opening and closing ceremonies. The track itself is 5.85 kilometres, which is 3.63 miles long, which is actually the fourth largest on the calendar after Spa, Baku and Silverstone. There's very little elevation change here, an extremely flat circuit, and it's also notable here that only Mercedes have ever won here in Formula 1 history. There are 19 turns on the track, 12 to the right, 7 to the left, 2 TRS zones to look out for as well. The first of them is down between turns 1 and 2. It's just before turn 1 is the activation point, all the way down to turn 2. The second one is on the curving back straight between turns 11 and 14. Look out here for the walls. They're right next to the track on a lot of the places around the circuit. Look out for the wall on the exit of turn 17. As we mentioned earlier, last season here had one car hit it during the race. It became dislodged, slightly jutted out onto the track, almost onto the curb, and a lot of cars were called out of that as the race went on. Look out for the lap record. We could get very close to that. We smashed it last time around in Singapore. The lap record is held by Lewis Hamilton last year in the Mercedes, of course, 135.761. Hamilton is the only driver to win here more than once. He's won here 4 times out of the 6 Russian Grand Prix. The other 2 wins have gone to Rosberg in 2016, and Valtteri Bottas won his first ever F1 race here in 2017. So drivers are starting to ready up now. Just to run through the grid for you once again, Dean Barry with a great lap takes pole position in the Mercedes. Arthur Bowler, absolutely stunning qualifying lap from him. He lines up alongside him on the front row of the grid in second position. Patrick Carrasco in the Renault will line up third, with Ant Waddington for company in fourth place. Row 3 are the 2 Red Bulls as they get ready now for the formation lap. They head off. The 2 Red Bulls line up on row 3 of the grid. Callum Harrod, his first race for Red Bull, and he's out-qualified his teammate Dan Blackwell. But of course, we heard from Callum earlier, he's going to do everything he can to support Dan in his championship push. 7th place, George Massey, TIR Dizzy, in the Alfa Romeo, his first race in the league, and what an effort from him to be in 7th position. 8th for Tom Cosme, or his first race as well. He lines up 8th in the Haas on row 4. 9th, we've got Matt Pielko in the second Alfa Romeo, and Ollie Cernan in the second Racing Point. 11th and 12th, they'll be so disappointed with that. The 2 Ferraris line up on row 6. But if you look at that little tyre mark next to their name, they're starting on the medium tyres, both of them. So they should be going a long way into the race. Tyre wear is normally very, very low around here. And we have heard there is rain coming toward the end of the race, so look out for that. Sam Congreve 13th in the McLaren. Then we've got Jack Giles in the Williams. Good effort from him as well. 14th in the Williams. Matt Anderson 15th in the second of the 2 Renaults. Ken Helberstad not quite able to recreate his stunning lap in qualifying in the Alfa Romeo in Singapore. He lines up 16th on the grid, but as we heard, that Williams is a much, much different kettle of fish to drive. 17th on the grid for Gregor Telford, his first race with Toro Rosso. Gareth Lambourne lines up in 18th position on the grid. He'll be looking once again to just bring home some points for Haas, as he's done so consistently this season. And then at the back of the grid, Scott Larvin, who crashed in qualifying, he lines up in 19th position. And in 20th position is Joe Newman. So he had problems, of course, technical problems, which meant he couldn't take part in qualifying. Dean's done a very quick parade lap there. He's on the grid long before anyone else. Laps around here. It's going to take a long time here, but they're all forming up on the grid. There is Joe in the McLaren at the back. And here we go. I hope they give me a better camera angle than this. It doesn't. Here we go. 5 lights on. It's lights out, away we go. Poor start from one, great start from one of the Alfa Romeos, but good start here from Dean at the front. And also Patrick's having a decent time as well. The top 4 absolutely together, and Waddington with a great toe as well down into turn 1. And here we go. Are they all going to get through turn 1 as well? And Waddington, what a move from off the 4. He's up alongside Arthur. Arthur's pushed a little bit wide, and Waddington has taken second position. They all seem to be very well behaved in the first corner. But what a brave move there from Matt Waddington to take second position away from Arthur as they come down into turn 4. Matt Anderson and Joe Newman having a good fight there as well. Other movers on the grid. Well, Anthony Bowers lost a few places. He's dropped down to 15th. It's now 16th position in the Ferrari. Don't know if he's made a little bit of contact with someone. But the two Mercedes, this is what they wanted. They were first and second. Patrick has taken third now off of Arthur Bowler. So Arthur, from his front row grid start, hasn't had the greatest of starts. He's now down to 4th position. Dan is still hanging on in 5th. Callum's lost a few places. He's dropped down to 8th place. And what a start from George Massey and Tom Crosby up into 6th and 7th position. They come through now to complete the end of the first lap, and he's getting very close indeed to the back of Dean as they come down into this tricky chicane for the first time. Dean's hanging on nicely in the lead. But what a perfect start for the two Mercedes, and I've got to say, everyone was very well behaved into the first couple of corners. Just going to try and find Anthony Bauer. Yeah, he's got no damage, which is obviously got caught out. Being in the middle of the pack, he was 11th on the grid, he's dropped to 17th. It gets worse and worse for Ferrari. Stephen Harrison has only held on to top. What a start for Jack Giles from 14th on the grid to 11th now in the Williams. Great start for him. So Dean Barry leads by half a second at the end of the first lap from his teammate. Patrick up into 3rd position. Lost the place at Amber over to Arthur as they go through that tricky first chicane. Once again, we're on lap 2 and 53. As Ollie gets past Gregor up into 13th. So Ollie's had a difficult start as well. He was 10th on the grid. He's now recovering back through the pack. Go and find there is Jack Giles in his first race. What a start from him. 14th on the grid up into 11th. He's now got Stephen Harrison for company. And I hate to say it, but I think that Ferrari will be so much quicker around here. And Scott, that's Joe Newman running very wide just behind. He's tucked up behind Ollie, and he's got Gregor Telford for company as well. Look at Stephen Harrison though, trying to swarm all over the back of that Williams. And just in front of them is Matt in the Alfa Romeo. He's also had a pretty decent start. He has dropped a place. But look at the run that Stephen Harrison's got there out of turn 11 and to turn 12. And he comfortably takes 11th position away from Jack. But still a good start from that Williams. So Stephen Harrison now on the move. But look at this. Anthony Barrett cannot get past. We've got 2 Toro Rossos fighting hard. Scott and Gregor. Scott's just got past Gregor. The DRS will be enabled as they start lap 3, and with the positioning of the DRS just before turn 1, they should be able to use it on the first lap that it's been enabled. So look out for that as it comes down. Dean leading and now still by half a second. They're just dropping Patrick behind, but Anthony Bauer stuck in traffic. He lost so many places at the start, and now Gregor's going to fence it because he knows Anthony's got such a good run in that Honda power really helping the Toro Rosso well. And Gregor's held on. Fair play to Gregor. Anthony Bauer tries to go the wrong way around. Penalty already. I sent them out for penalty today. Arthur Bowler gets penalty. And Anthony Bauer's got past Gregor. That's a brave move running outside of turn 3. And now Matt Anderson trying to join in as well. Oh, he's got pushed a little wide. Not sure if Gregor even knew he was there. But some great battles going on. Look at this. This is Arthur Bowler with George Massey all over the back of him. And right behind that is Tom Cosby. These two of these newcomers absolutely flying. And surely George is going to be close enough here down this back straight to have a look down into turn 14. I think he is. And Callum Harris keeping a watching brief just behind them as well. And look at, yes, Tom Cosby's got past. Tom Cosby is through, and Matt's trying to throw it back up the inside. That was extremely brave by George. That was very, very brave. And he has made it stick. Callum Harris trying to get in there as well. There's going to be almost 3 abreast. Callum backs out of that one. A penalty for Gregor Telford as well. And Ollie's out of the race. Ollie has retired from the race. He's crashed down into turn 14. I think there was contact with Gregor. Ollie is out of the race. There must have been, because Gregor's lost his front wing. So Ollie, for the second race running, retires very, very early in the race. Such a pity for him. He becomes our first retirement of the day. There's no safety car though, as Dan has got past Patrick. Patrick runs really wide. So Dan's run very, very wide. He must have race himself there, but can Dan hang on now down into turn 4? He's got the inside line. Patrick will have the inside line for turn 4. This is great stuff in between these two. They're just giving each other room. And Dan Blackwell up into 3rd place. So great driving there from those two. They were wheel to wheel for so long. But meanwhile, up at the front, the two Mercedes are pulling away very quickly. They're nearly 3 seconds clear now of the car behind them as Callum gets past Tom Cosby up into 6th position. So race order now on lap 4. Dean Barry leads from Ant Waddington. Dan Blackwell is up into 3rd place in the Red Bull. Patrick's dropped to 4th. 5th for George Massey. 6th for Callum Harrod. Sam Connery's up to 7th. Tom Cosby 8th. Stephen Harris 9th and Joe Newman 10th. Arthur Bowler's pitted and he's a long way back now in 18th position. Gregor Telford's also had to pit. But not sure what's happened to Arthur. Maybe I'll try and find out from their manager what happened there. So end of lap 4. Look how close Ant is. Jack seems to be having some technical difficulties. I hope not, because he's running so well. But Dean, as Tom Cosby pits as well. These soft tyres maybe aren't lasting quite as long as we thought. Penalty for Matt in the Alfa Romeo as he pits as well, speeding in the pit lane. But look at how close these two Mercedes are. Unfortunately, Jack has rejoined. He's in 13th position. Now he just drops a place behind his teammate as Ollie does leave the session. Unfortunately, that's such a shame for him. So Mercedes 1 and 2, Scott Larvin with a penalty. He's had a cracking start to the race, Scott. Up from the don't forget, he crashed in qualifying, started 19th on the grid, and he's now into the top 10. So we spoke to him briefly. He said he was aiming for the top 10, and at the moment he's there. He's got Anthony Bauer for company, but still a good effort. Tom Cosby's come out in 17th position after his first stop. So this is quite an interesting one now. How long are these soft tyres going to go? Could possibly Arthur have made an inspired decision by pitting quite early. He's 16th on the grid. As Arthur gets past, sorry, Anthony gets past Scott Larvin. So there you see our two leaders still only separated by half a second. They're both trying to win this race. They're very close together in the championship, only 5 points. And I've just heard that Gregor did back into the back of Ollie down into that braking zone. So yes, their manager's not very happy about that, as you can understand. So problems there, and unfortunately, once again, for the second race in a row, Ollie has been taken out of the race through no faults of his own. Dan Blackwell's doing a good job at the moment, just about maintaining the pace to the two Mercedes ahead of him. Still just over 2.5 seconds behind in third place. So it could all come down to pit stops here. Very, very soft tyres here. The softest in the compound that Pirelli make, and Anthony Bauer gets a penalty. And I've just been told as well that Patrick Roscoe in fourth place did cut in front of Arthur and braked in front of him and broke his front wing. So that is why Arthur had to pit. He's down in 16th position at the moment. So it could be crucial here for Racing Point. Don't forget they're fourth, only just ahead of Red Bull and Haas in the Constructors' Championship at the moment. And they, well, at the moment both Haas's are running very well. 15th and 17th, and we saw Tom Cosby pick quite early as well. So into lap 7 of the race, the Mercedes have got it totally under control at the moment. There is Dan Blackwell in third position, Patrick hanging on nicely in fourth, then a bit of a gap. There you can see George Massey with Callum Harrod chasing him down behind. And look at this, Stephen Harrison and Sam Congreve. Sam loses out to Stephen. The greater power in that Ferrari really helped him there. Stephen Harrison has recovered to 7th place now. And with his teammate in 10th, it could be a case of just trying to extend his World Championship lead at the moment, which currently sits at 9 points. So when are the first pit stops going to happen? We're on lap 7 of the Grand Prix. We've seen a couple pit already. Tom Cosme pitted. I don't think he had any damage. Could have been a tactical decision from him. Arthur Bowler had damage. We saw that. Gregor as well. And Matt, I think also in the second Alfa Romeo, had damage as well. So those four, the 3 of the top 10 are down in the last 4 places on the track at the moment. Another penalty for Scott Larvin. He's dropped 12th now, right behind Matt Anderson, who's having a good race as well so far. Joe Newman from the back of the grid, don't forget, after his technical issues in qualifying, he is 9th at the moment, only 5 seconds behind his teammate. So absolutely stunning start from Joe. Excuse me, you might just see him pop into the background there, not quite. So it's very stable at the front. Dan just dropping back a little bit, almost back into the clutches of Patrick in 4th place. Here is George Massey on his debut, having a brilliant race in 5th position, and he's, you've got to say, he's keeping the gap very, very nicely to Callum Harrod behind him. But this is what we were talking about with Callum earlier on. The team orders here could come into effect. Can he do a job for his teammate here? He's 6th, and right behind him is Stephen Harrison. There's still a chance for Dan to clinch the Drivers' Championship, despite being quite a long way back. And at the moment, Dan up in 3rd place, and the Ferrari's 7th and 10th. This is good for him. So can Callum now hold that Ferrari up? There's only a second between them. This could be very interesting to watch here, as Callum is going to do his best here to help his team out. We heard that from him earlier on. Lap 8 of the race, still only about half a second between the two Mercedes. They're now 4.5 seconds clear of 3rd place man Dan Blackwell, who's just about keeping Patrick at arm's length behind him. Then we've got this little fight going on here. George Massey in 5th, just a second clear of Callum Harrod. And we've got Stephen Harrison in here as well, in the Ferrari World Championship leader, crashed in Singapore and retired from the race. This is for 5th, 6th and 7th. And if Callum can just get into the DRS zone with the Alfa Romeo ahead of him, that will help him enormously. You know how strong the straight line that Ferrari is. Just behind them is Sam Congreve and Carroll, just dropping back a little bit now in 8th position, just ahead of his teammate. Rounding out the top 10 is Anthony Bauer. 2 Williams running very well as well in 13th and 14th position. Gareth Lambourne's having another good race. He's up to 15th. say it every week about Gareth. He keeps himself out of trouble, doesn't really get involved in many instances. It was one of the few races he retired from last season. He got hit by somebody, I can't remember who it was, but someone took him out of the race. I actually think it was Dan Blackwell if I remember correctly, but Gareth managed to survive this time. And we're into lap 9 as Arthur Bowler gets past Gareth. That's for 15th position. So Arthur starts to come back through the field. If he can put quick laps in here, even though he's lost his front wing and had a longer stop, he's been out for a little while longer on those medium tyres. We know the soft tyres will be starting to fade now. So possibly he could still see himself in that leading fight. Look at Callum Harrod here though, he's dropped Stephen a little bit. Seems he's made a mistake somewhere on this lap. And now Callum really starting to put George Massey under pressure in the battle for 5th position. So this would be good for Callum as well if he put another car between himself and Stephen Harrison. Dean now stretched that lead out to just over a second, so he's broken the DRS gap. So he's 1.2 seconds here, and he's over 6.5 seconds clear of Dan Blackwell now in 3rd, who does have Patrick for company now in 4th place. So those two are getting close to Moto. Let's see if Callum can do anything. Don't forget, same Ferrari engine in the back of that Alfa Romeo as in the works of Ferrari, and Callum was making that stint. Good move by Callum up into 5th position. So back to where he started at a poor start. He's now up into 5th position, and Anthony Bowers can pass Joe Newman to take 9th. So here is your race leader, just over a second clear of Anne Waddington now, and they're now 5.5 clear of Dan Blackwell in 3rd place. Let's have a little look at that battle, because Patrick is closing up here. So Patrick hasn't given up yet on the podium position. We're at 10 of the race. Absolutely flying past already. And what a start for Dan Blackwell. He's had a difficult couple of races. Retired from Hungary. Ran out of fuel on the last lap in Germany, cost him a few places. Had a couple of incidents in Belgium as well, if you remember. He outbraked himself at the start, damaged his front wing, had to pit early and struggled to recover really from that. But he's running 3rd at the moment, but definitely that Renault is keeping him more than honest at the moment, and he's closing the gap. Does the Renault have the straight line speed on the Honda powered Red Bull in front of him? We've already seen from Callum, it's not bad in a straight line, that Red Bull. And there we see the battle behind. How long can George Massey hold off Stephen Harrison? This is 5th, 6th and 7th. Very, very close. Oh, Callum with a bit of oversteer on the exit of turn 2. Just about got away with that, but he lost a little bit of momentum, not quite enough for the Alfa Romeo to do anything about it. The two Haas drivers swap positions, so Tom Cosby now up into 16th position, just as Arthur Bowler gets past Jack Giles up into 14th. So many penalties coming through here now. Sam Congreve with a penalty as well. Anthony Bowers, we've got one, I think that's his second one of the race. So like I said earlier, it's so easy to get penalties around here, and we're seeing that demonstrated. Very surprised we didn't have a safety car for that incident on the second lap, but managed to clear the car away in time. Dean now is nearly 2 seconds clear of his teammate, so Dean Barry just edging away. Dan Blackwell, if anything, is just starting to edge back into that one a little bit, and he's dragging the Renault with him, and there we see this is the battle going on behind that for 5th, 6th and 7th. Stephen Harrison will be desperate to get past that Alfa Romeo and the Red Bull in front of him. Again, could this be a tactical thing by Red Bull? Callum's got ahead of the Alfa. Is he now trying to back Stephen up? They both got DRS. Is Stephen going to be close enough into turn 2? He's having a look, and he's going to have to brake very late. He's just about made that stick. Great move there from Stephen Harrison. Those medium tyres do seem to be coming into their own a little bit now. Those on the softs are just starting to struggle. Arthur Bowler with a penalty. Where is he? He's 14th and closing up on Ken Helberstad in the battle for 13th position. So, Stephen Harrison up into 6th now. So once again, Callum with the Ferrari right behind him. Can Callum hold off that Ferrari, and how long for? Because they're only about 4 seconds behind Dan in 3rd position, which is crucial for the championship for that team. So race order lap 12, the 2 Mercedes still dominating. Dan Blackwell 3rd, Patrick Orozco's 4th, 5th for Callum Harrod with Stephen Harrison right behind him. Then we've got George Massey doing very well in 7th place. Sam Connery 8th, 2 seconds clear of Anthony Barra, who is starting to close the gap. Joe Newman into the top 10, 10th position. Then we've got Matt Anderson, Scott Larvin, Ken Helberstad with Arthur Bowler right behind him. Jack Giles, Tom Cosme. Then we've got Matt in the second Alfa Romeo, 17th. Gareth Lamborn is 18th and Gregor Telford is 19th. Arthur Bowler gets past 10. So that's 13th and 14th position now changed hands. And there's been a mistake, I think, from Dean Barry, because he was nearly 2 seconds clear of Van, and look how close they are now. So I don't know if Dean's made an error somewhere in the last section of that last lap. But what was a 2 second lead is now just a few tenths of a second once again. But they're still 5 seconds clear of Dan in 3rd place. He's just stretched the gap out again a little bit to Patrick in 4th. Callum still holding up that Ferrari. The Red Bull will just be a little bit better in the handling parts of the track, and of course the Ferrari following in the dirty air behind the Red Bull I think will struggle, but Callum, great traction out of turn 12. That's going to help him greatly. There's Patrick just ahead of them at 2.5 seconds up the road. Is Stephen going to be close enough? Is he going to launch one up the inside? No, he doesn't. So Callum is doing a fine job, and as he's one of those circles, you need to have good traction. If you've got good traction out of the lights of turn 12 and the final corner of the 2 DRS zones, it will help you enormously. Stephen, they're just weaving about a little bit behind, trying to distract Callum. I think Callum's been around way too long for that to distract him. And again, with a good exit, but I think Stephen had a pretty good exit as well, and this could be a swap here for position. Stephen is coming through. Not a lot Callum can do about that. His tyres are past their best now. You have to think about going back around the outside, but Stephen Harrison now up into 5th position. So great race for him so far. Really kept himself out of trouble. And don't forget, he started 12th and now he's down back up into 5th as George Massey thought about a little move there into turn 4. Thought better of it. So Dean Barry still with his teammate for company. These two, I think, will certainly be looking for a Mercedes win here. It is amazing, this track just suits the Mercedes for some reason more than any other team on the grid. It really is amazing how successful they've been around here. Never even looked like not winning a race here. And then we're seeing it once again. Great start from Ant from 4th on the grid, outbreak 2 cars into turn 1. Arthur Bowler now has got Scott Larvin right in front of him. Anthony Bowers just got past Sam Congreve and moving to 8th place. He'll be desperate to try and reel in his teammate over the course of the race. And they'll be going quite a lot longer than 2 Ferraris as Arthur Bowler does get past Scott up into 12th position. So good recovery drive so far from the racing point. I still reckon he may have an outside chance of the podium here if he can put in some good laps here. Lap 15 of the race. And the two Mercedes are absolutely dominating it at the moment from the front. They now lead by 7 seconds from Dan Blackwell in third place. And Stephen Harrison now is reeling in the Renault in front of him, and he's dragging Callum with him. So Callum hasn't given up on this position yet. Callum pushing that Red Bull very hard there from what I saw in the middle part of that lap. These two, and they're dragging George Massey with them as well. So this is 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, getting much, much closer. Anthony Bauer's 6 seconds behind them in 8th position. But at the moment can't make any impression on them, cannot close the gap down. So he'll be disappointed. He started ahead of his teammate on the grid and had a very bad start, struggled to get through the traffic. Tom Cosme is eyeing up Jack Giles. Just going to find that battle. This is for 15th position. So Tom, I'm not sure if he got some front wing damage as well in the first few laps, but he too's on a recovery drive. Two newcomers to the league, and Tom Cosme takes place. He's up to 15th position now. Just behind them is Matt in the Alfa Romeo. He's also on a recovery drive. He put on soft tyres at his first stop. And there is the Alfa Romeo in the background. So lap 16 now. When are these front runners going to be pitting? Yellow flag in sector 3. I think that was Gareth just running a little bit wide. Has he lost a bit of his front wing? Yes, he has. There's been a mistake from Gareth. He's going to have to pit, I think, with that front wing damage. Down at the chicane where we saw Gregor and Ollie come to blows, and Gareth pits from 18th position in the Haas. He's going to drop back to last because he's going to have a front wing change. He's going to drop behind Gregor. And look how close the two Mercedes are now. They are still pushing hard. I'm sure they'll be allowed to race for a while, but there will come a point, because they are pulling away quite quickly. I think there will come a point where their manager, which is Mr. JBL, will just instruct them to hold station, because they don't want to ruin what at the moment is a perfect score for the two Mercedes drivers. Point to pole position, which went to Dean. They're 1-2 in the race at the moment, and Dean's also got the fastest lap of the race. There is Gareth exiting the pits. He's now a lap down at the back of the field. But with the exception of the bottom two, the gaps between the cars aren't that big. So it's still very, very close here. It's about 1/3 distance now. So from my experience, I think the soft tyres will probably last from about lap 20 to the end of the race. So maybe that is what they're trying to get to. But of course, don't forget, if there is rain coming, which is forecast, that will totally change everything. And if someone on the medium tyres can last to when the rain comes, then they could be in a very strong position. Someone like Stephen Harrison, for example, in 5th place. Now all over the back of the Renault. Here we see it. There is Dan Blackwell 2 seconds up the road. Here is Patrick in 4th place. Oh, Stephen thought about a little move there. Just thought better of it. Callum's still being dragged with them. They're just got the George a little bit behind them. Nearly 2 seconds down the road now in 7th place. They're just dropping him slightly. But these three are fighting hard. Dan Blackwell pits, as does Patrick. So those two are pitting 3rd and 4th in the race, both into the pits. So Stephen Harrison moves up into 3rd place. Callum Harrod moves up into 4th. And George has stayed out as well. So he's up into 5th position now. That's the first of the leading group to blink and change tyres. What tyres are they going on to? Both going on to medium tyres. So we'll get quite a long way into the race. 35 laps to go after this one. And Dean stretched the gap back out again now to 1.6 seconds. Yellow flag in sector 1. Not quite sure why that would be. Maybe Gareth trying to get out of the way of someone, possibly. Ken Helmstad pits as well in the Williams. There he is. He was running in 14th place and he's now dropped down a couple of places. He should come out still in 17th though. There's a big gap behind him to Gregor Telford. So I think George Massey's made a mistake somewhere as well. He's really struggling on those soft tyres. He's now dropped nearly 6 seconds behind Callum, who's ahead of him, and now has Anthony Bauer all over the back of him. So I think those soft tyres on the Alfa Romeo are really starting to struggle. Here comes Anthony. He's got so much more straight line speed, and he makes it through. George in his first race being very sensible there. Is there a bit more front wing damage there? I think there is a bit of damage on George's car. Maybe he has just clipped a wall somewhere. So you can see the left front end fence is missing on that Alfa Romeo and he pits. So maybe they'll give him a new front wing. But Dean now really pushing. He's out nearly 2.5 seconds clear of his teammate. So he's dropped his teammate. Let's see what George Massey gets. Sam Congreve moves up a place. Arthur Bowler now up into 11th place. Yes, new front wing for the Alfa Romeo. He must just clip the wall somewhere in the middle part of that lap. He lost a lot of time. Don't forget as well, for those who finish outside the top 10, whoever sets fastest lap outside the top 10 gets 2 additional points. Everyone who finishes will score, but this next 2 points on offer for whoever sets fastest lap outside the top 10. At the moment, that's going to George Massey, his 13th position, but we've got a long, long way to go. So Dean Barry now out to lead 3 seconds clear. Tom Cosby's got past Scott Larvin. That's still raging on that battle for 11th and 12th position. So when are these top 2 going to pit? Is Ant going to try and undercut his teammate here and go for the race win? Lap 20 of the Grand Prix. Dean's lead is now out to 3 seconds over his teammate. Stephen Harrison picks. Now that's a very early stop from Stephen. Considering he's on those medium tyres, I'm very surprised to see him pitting this early in the race. Goes on to a set of softs. Maybe the rain is coming a little bit quicker than everyone thought. But that's a very surprising early stop considering he started on those medium tyres. Stephen Harrison comes out in 7th place on a brand new set of softs. So watch the pace from him now. That will be something to watch. Gregor's just been lapped from the lead Mercedes. Dean Barry now 3.5 seconds cleared. Sam Congreve also pits. He's gone on to another set of soft tyres, which is interesting. It's a different strategy to what the Ferraris have done. But Dean Barry really pushing hard here. Out to be 4 seconds clear of his teammate. At the moment, I've got to say, we're talking about the rain. It doesn't look as if it's coming in. It's still bright sunshine from what I can see. Doesn't even look as if there's much cloud cover coming over at the moment. Certainly not compared to qualifying. And apparently I've just heard that it's going to be in the last 10 laps of the race. This is the rain. So 2-stop strategy, I would say, then definitely for the Ferrari team. Dean Barry continues to pull away in the lead of the race. There's a great battle going on here. This is Dan Blackwell in 5th. He's already stopped. Right behind him there is the Renault of Patrick, and then right behind that is the Ferrari of Stephen Harrison. These 3 have pitted, and Arthur Bowler is still in there. He pitted a bit earlier than the others. And this is the end of the 3rd lap. The yellow flag in sector 1. And Ant Waddington spun. Ant Waddington has spun at turn 3. I'm not sure what's happened, but he has lost a lot of time. And there is Callum right up behind him. Ant Waddington, what a mistake from him. He's also now struggling with those soft tyres. And here comes Callum Howard up the inside. That's a bold move there. He's made it stick. Callum takes second and lost momentum in that middle part of the track. And Ant Waddington, I thought it was a Mercedes, and it was. Ant Waddington, well, Mercedes were dominating this race, and that could be crucial because not far behind them now is the likes of Dan, and Stephen's got past Patrick into what is currently 6th position, but this could be another position gained here for Stephen with Ant's mistake. And he still looks as if he's struggling a bit with oversteer there as Dean Barry pits. So the leader is in at the end of lap 20. He's seen the mistake from his teammate, decided to jump on it immediately. And look at this, Callum and Ant in as well. So they're both coming in. Both Mercedes. There's enough of a gap between them for it not to matter. So now into the race lead goes Anthony Bauer in the Ferrari, who started in 11th on the grid on those medium tyres. Stephen Harrison's just set fastest lap of the race, and Stephen is up to 3rd. He has got past and he has got past Callum comfortably. That early stop onto the soft tyres has worked beautifully for Stephen. He's into 3rd place now, and he's less than 14 seconds behind his teammate, who's currently in the lead of the race. Penalty for Scott Larvin for speeding the pit lane. He pits, takes off those soft tyres that he was running. So race order now after the pit stops. Anthony Bauer leads the race. He's the only one of the top few cars that's yet to stop. The only one of the top 6 is yet to stop. He leads the race now by 7 seconds from Dean Barry in the Mercedes. Stephen Harrison up to 3rd. Brilliant strategy from Ferrari, if a little bit odd, you would think. But he's still running in 3rd place. Dan Blackwell is 4th. Patrick is 5th. 6th is Arthur Bowler. 7th is Matt Anderson. Now he also is yet to stop. He's got Callum Howard right behind him. Ant Waddington is 9th, and then we've got Sam Congreve in 10th. So how long are Ferrari going to keep Anthony Bauer out? From what I can see, there's a little bit of front wing damage as well on the Ferrari. Yes, indeed there is. Callum's got past Matt Anderson into 7th place, but good drive from Matt as well. He started quite a long way down the grid, and he's up into 8th position. Should I see where Matt qualified? Matt qualified 15th on the grid. So, well, at the moment, he's not losing a massive amount of time, is he? He's lost about half a second on that lap. Maybe Dean Barry's just trying to get those tyres up to temperature. But it's Anthony Bauer leading the race once again. We've seen this so much from him in the last few races. He's had a brilliant second half of the year. And he leads once again, but he's on a completely different strategy to everyone else. Matt Helco in the second Alfa Romeo pits again. So he's going to drop down a little bit from that. Tom Cosme gets past Sam Congreve up into 11th position. He's on quite worn tyres now. So the only 2 cars on track that have not stopped now is Anthony Bauer in the lead and Jack Giles in 14th position. Those 2 are the only 2 to have not stopped so far in the race. Dean Barry coming up to speed now, taking over a second. There he is, taking over a second from Anthony Bauer so far on this lap. And Anthony's going again. And catching the pair of them quite quickly on those soft tyres is Stephen Harrison in 3rd place. He was 14 seconds behind his teammate. He's now just over 10. So he really is catching very, very quickly. A couple of seconds a lap. Patrick still has Dan for company in the battle for 4th position. So Dan's lost a place there, because of course he was ahead of him before the pit stops. So a slower pit stop there for the Red Bull of Dan Blackwell. It's dropped him behind Patrick. Arthur Bowl at 6th. After his early pit stop, he will be stopping again fairly soon. But we're heading towards half distance now. Can you believe it? It's gone very, very quick. Another penalty for Sam. There are so many penalties that have been handed out in this race. So watch the order as they cross the line at the end of the race, because I think we're going to see a lot of changes of position. But Anthony now just calmly still leading the race, being caught by Dean Barry. He knows that. It wouldn't at all surprise me to see him pit as soon as Dean gets to around 1 or 2 seconds behind him. Will they change that front wing as well as the other question? He has lost his right front end fence, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him too badly at the moment. But Dean is catching Anthony by about a second a lap. But Stephen is catching Dean by another second a lap. So those two are comfortably the two quickest on the field. Gregor Telford pits again as well. He's down in 18th position. Will he lose that position to Gareth? It's going to be close between those two. There in the background is Dean. And then just behind that there is Stephen Harrison. And behind that we've got a good battle going on. Patrick and Dan. And look. So that's Arthur lapping Gareth. Gareth did get ahead of Gregor, so that's for 18th and 19th position. So I think Arthur will be disappointed there with the incident in the first couple of laps. So I think it's cost him a chance of certainly a podium here today at least. So Dean pushing very hard. Stephen also with that softer rubber. And he's closing up quite nicely on the two ahead of him. But Anthony Bauer still calmly leads the race. And it is starting to cloud over. You can see it there. It's just not quite so many shadows at some parts of the track. A bit of sunshine there, but you can certainly see shadows appearing around the racetrack. So there is rain on its way. We know that already. It's just a question of when will it hit and how hard will it hit. It's quite a slippery racetrack even in the dry. So it'll be very interesting to see what it's like in wet conditions. But Anthony carrying on again. So he's done now half the race distance. We're on to lap 26 of this race. It's a 53 lap race. He's done half the race distance on those tyres. How much further will he go? He's got a 3-second lead now over this man, Dean Barry. There you can see Stephen Harrison just behind that in 3rd place. So the top 3 are all closing up together. Of course, Dean Barry isn't quite so worried about the World Championship. He's quite a long way behind. He'll just be able to win this race, and especially after that mistake and spin from his teammate. He knows he's in with an excellent chance here this afternoon to take this race victory. He's just got to stay calm and see how it goes. But at the moment, you would say it's Dean Barry's race to lose. It'll be a question of who gets the other 2 podium spots at the moment. And they can really see it clouding over there in that part of the racetrack. But Dean continuing to close. Stephen not closing quite as quickly now in 3rd place. He was catching by about 2 seconds a lap to his teammates. Not closing down quite as much now. Him and Dean are lapping quite similarly in 2nd and 3rd. Yellow flag in sector 3. I think that's Patrick gone off. It is. Patrick spun it. Patrick's completely spun it, and he's lost a couple of places as a result. So Patrick Orozco in the Renault, who was running so well in 4th place, has made an error. I'm not sure if there was contact there, but he's lost a couple of places as a result. He was in 4th, he's now down to 8th place, and just behind him, if you look at that, that is a battle for 2nd to last. Gareth Lambourne and Gregor Telford, and there is Matt Anderson, who also has yet to stop in the second Renault, having a great race in 9th place. So meanwhile, up at the front, the lead is now just over a second, and look at how cloudy it's getting here. Will this be a tactic of Ferrari? Try and hang on to when the rain comes with Anthony, and it will save him a pit stop and can lift him up quite a few positions. Now with Patrick's spin, that does take out another potential car that could finish ahead of him if he keeps a good pace. Look at how close Dean is. Stephen Harrison stopped closing up on Dean. If anything, he's starting to fall back. Are those soft tyres that he's on already starting to give him trouble? There's no front wing damage, so he's not clipped a wall anywhere. So I think he is just struggling with those tyres. And as I said, as soon as Dean Barry was up behind him, Anthony Bauer pits from the lead. Now, where is he going to come out? I reckon it will be around Arthur and Callum and Waddington, back in 5th, 6th and 7th. I think that is where he'll be. I think Dan Blackwell will just sneak past. Yes, he will. It's quite a long pit lane here, actually, so possibly he might even be... So Anthony might be even further down. But Dean Barry retakes the lead. Let's have a look there. And yes, Patrick gets past Anthony as well. And Matt Anderson does too. He's a little close with George Massey actually as well. So that hasn't worked out great for Anthony Rao, but he does come out in 9th place and with a bit of a clear track ahead of him. He's on a set of soft tyres. He can now push hard. 25 laps to go. We're past the halfway point. We know the rain is coming. Can those soft tyres last to when that rain comes? If indeed they have to stop. Of course, if the rain's only gentle in the last few laps, then potentially they may not need to stop at all. But Dean Barry has done very well here because he's stopped Stephen catching him behind. The gap is still 3.5 seconds. And we know Stephen's going to have to stop soonish with those soft tyres. There you can see the Ferrari. Does look as if he's sliding a little bit. Dean looks a little bit more under control. Doesn't look as if he's sliding quite as much. So race order now. Pretty much everyone except Matt Anderson has made a stop. So let's just run through the order now. Dean Barry leads by just under 3.5 seconds from Stephen Harrison. Dan Blackwell is a further 11 seconds down the road in 3rd place for Red Bull. Let's see if we can find him. There he is. Look at this battle going on here though. Arthur Bowler having to go defensive. Callum Harris got a great run on him. He's going to have to go the long way around the outside. How late is Callum going to break? Arthur pushing him out onto the curb. But I think Callum's going to make that one stick up the inside into turn 3. Arthur's got great traction there round the outside. That will give him the inside line into turn 4. Great fair drive from the parent and Arthur hangs on. And just behind them is Ant Waddington looking to join in. Now let's have a look at the run to turn 5. Callum not quite close enough. Not quite a long enough straight along there. But these three are batting hard over 4th, 5th and 6th. 7th is Patrick after his mistake. He's dropped behind this lot. Anthony Bauer's come out in 8th position. Look out for the pace for him now on those soft tyres on the Ferrari. Matt Anderson is 9th. Still yet to stop in that Renault. He's doing a great job. And George Massey is 10th. He's faded a little bit from his early pace, but he's still running inside the top 10. Look at this. Callum very, very close. Arthur again going defensive. And Waddington trying to get in there as well. Arthur's got the inside line. He's going to hang on to that. And Waddington's trying to go around the outside of Callum. And pounced on that. That was great driving there. And Callum still got the inside line into the chicane. But I think Ant's going to make that one stick. Absolute instinctive driving there from Ant. He saw Callum offline trying to get past the racing point, and he's pounced as a result up into 5th place for Ant Waddington on a recovery drive after his spin earlier on. So here we go. Can Callum now get good slipstream and DRS? That Mercedes will have DRS of course as well. Fastest lap from Anthony Bauer And now Ant Waddington having a look up the inside of Arthur. Not quite close enough this time. But Anthony Bauer has just set fastest lap of the race on a 1:36.4. Still a little way away from the lap record as George Massey gets past Matt Anderson into 9th place. So Matt Anderson having a great run, still yet to stop in that Renault. He's done 30 laps. He's on to his 30th lap on those tyres. Having a great run in the Renault. And look at this, Ant Waddington, that would be brave there up the inside. That's where Callum got him earlier, because Ant had lost momentum after his spin and probably had quite hot tyres, so didn't want to be pushing too hard. But these three, what a fight they're having. They're 4 seconds down the road from Dan Blackwell. This could still potentially be a battle for a podium later on. And Arthur's constantly, and look at this, Ant Waddington, he's going past here. And Callum's trying to pounce as well up the inside. I don't think he's going to be quite close enough. No, he's not. So Ant Waddington takes 2 cars in 2 laps. Callum's trying to get through. Is he going to be close enough into the chicane? Not quite. Arthur just about had it. So Ant Waddington now up into 4th place. It's a great driving from these three. Absolutely brilliant. And now Callum will be desperate to get back past Arthur. Arthur's on very old tyres as well. Don't forget, he pitted at the end of lap 3. Anthony Bauer set another fastest lap of the race on a 1:34.9. That absolutely smashes the lap record, I believe. Indeed it does. The lap record was a 1:35.7 by Lewis Hamilton. And Anthony Bauer just absolutely smashed it with a 1:34.9. Much faster than anyone else. Stephen Harrison with some technical issues. Oh no. 2nd place man looks like he's having some technical issues. Meanwhile, Arthur Bowler, as I was looking at that, is back ahead of Ant Waddington. So these three, there is Anthony Bauer closing in extremely quickly. Arthur Bowler refuses to yield this 4th position despite the age of his tyres. Is he also trying to hang on to when the rain comes? It does look as if it's coming quite soon, because it is getting quite dark out there. But one thing you're not going to want to be on when it does start to rain and the track gets slippery is very old rubber. And at the moment, Arthur and Matt Anderson are old rubber. Here comes Ant Waddington once again, trying to get up the inside, and once again he makes that stick. That's a good move. Can he hang on to it on this lap? Great driving between these three. They really are showing each other a lot of respect. And now Anthony Bauer on the back of him. And Patrick closing up as well. He's less than 2 seconds down the road. There he is in the Renault. He too is catching these quite quickly now. So we're soon going to have a 5-car battle for 4th place. And Waddington at the moment seems to have it. And in fact, Arthur had a bit of a slow exit there out of the final corner. And now Callum deep in his slipstream. Callum will be desperate to get past into turn 2. But Ant Waddington doesn't have any straight line speed compared to the Racing Point, does he? And Callum can't quite get up the inside. Now he is up into turn 3. Can't quite make it stick. Anthony Bauer in there as well. Have a look at this into turn 4. Arthur being very brave. Callum trying to go around the outside into turn 4. That is very brave. Now there's a little bit of contact, but I think they'll get away with it down into turn 5. Callum still round the outside and still refuses to look out. Callum, because here comes Anthony Bauer. Again, a little bit of wheel barging there between those two. And once again, Callum still round the outside. He still refuses to give up. Now he's got Anthony Bauer around the outside of him. And there's contact. Callum spun it. Callum Harron speeds a little bit too brave there up the inside of that corner. And Callum Harron has spun round. And he's lost a few places there. Well, they've been banging wheels for a few laps. And Callum, they can't help thinking it was a little bit late for the brakes for Callum. And he makes a rare error. I very rarely see Callum Harron making any kind of error. So Callum Harron has dropped positions. And Waddington does seem to be struggling in a straight line compared to the Racing Point, doesn't he? We saw that before, how quickly the Racing Point closed up. But Ant Waddington now can get clear. He's just under a second clear of the Racing Point, who now has Anthony Bauer for company. But Arthur's been fighting every which way here. And that was a much easier pass. Don't forget, same manager here, so maybe some instructions going on there. Callum pits from what was ninth place. He's got some front wing damage. They're not ready for him. So very late call in the Red Bull garage. They're not ready for him at all. New front wing going on that Red Bull. That is going to drop him a fair way down the order. Look at this battle going on here. This is Sam Congery, who's just got past Matt Anderson, who's still yet to stop. And there's Tom Cosme right behind them. And Tom Cosme trying to go around the outside into turn 3. That's not quite close enough. So Callum Harrod has dropped to 13th place after that spin and extra stop. He must have just hit the side of Arthur and caused himself to have a bit of front wing damage. Arthur now is 6th. Can't help thinking there was a little bit of team orders going on there. Same manager, of course, for Ferrari as the Racing Point. And look at this. And Wallington coming under pressure from Anthony Bauer. Anthony's got that already. There's nothing I can do. There's so much more grip on those soft tyres at the moment. And Ant Wallington has dropped back into 5th place. Anthony Bauer on an absolute charge. He was flying before he caught up to the back of these 3. And now he's past them. Can he reproduce some pace once again? He's 5 seconds behind Dan Blackwell in the Red Bull. Quite a good race in 3rd. Stephen Harrison has rejoined the race, but he's now 9 seconds off the lead, held by Dean Barry. So we're on lap 34, less than 20 laps to go. We heard the rain will be coming in the last 10 laps or so. I think it might be a little bit sooner than that because it is pretty dark around most of the track now. But there is our race leader. He's driven a brilliant race. And he now leads by over 9 seconds. It's still not raining out on track. That's what I was just checking there. But it's coming in soon, isn't it? You can see how much darker it is out there. So Mercedes now, let's have a look, see how the teams are doing. Mercedes running 1st and 5th. They'll be pleased with Dean, and I think will be kicking himself after that spin earlier on. Stephen Harrison, Ferrari, running 2nd and 4th. They'll be delighted after being 11th and 12th on the grid. Red Bull 3rd and 13th. Well, they'll be pleased with Dan. I think Hannah will be kicking himself after that spin and mistake against the side of Arthur Bowler. Then we've got Racing Point. We've got one car in the Racing 6th. The only retirement so far is that of Arthur's teammate, who retired early on. So lap 35, still Matt Anderson yet to stop. So it really is showing just how long those medium tyres can go. Dean Barry's lead is out to 9.5 seconds over this man, Dan Blackwell. But behind Dan and catching extremely quickly is the 2nd Ferrari of Anthony Bauer. So Anthony is absolutely flying in that Ferrari. Now he's got clear of that pack that's still fighting behind. Look at this. And Waddington half a second clear of Arthur Bowler, who's another half a second clear of Patrick Orozco. George Massey has dropped off the pace a little bit, but he's still running in 8th position. He's 4 seconds clear of Sam Congery, who now has Tom Cosme, the company behind in the battle for 10th place. Cannot believe how long Matt Anderson was making those tyres last in 11th, and he's 15 seconds clear of Callum Harrod, who was have that extra pit stop. But it could all change once the rain comes down. Another penalty for Joe Newman. He has racked up a few in this race. He's running in 13th position. Jack Giles having a good race as well in 14th, his first race in the league. He's gone a long way as well on those medium tyres. He put it quite early. And Stephen Harrison pits. Stephen Harrison into the pits from 2nd place onto new set of soft tyres. Now where is he going to come out? I think he's going to come out probably just ahead of this man, George Massey. So yes, he does. So Stephen Harrison drops to 7th. So he's going to have a few laps before the rain gets here of absolute blistering pace on a brand new set of soft tyres. So this is now a battle for 2nd place. Dan Blackwell and Anthony Bauer. So it could have big meaning in the World Championship as well, of course, because now, with Stephen Harrison 7th in the race, he'll be picking up 14 points. If Anthony Bauer can take 2nd, it'll mean he'll be picking up 21 points. So that 9-point lead will pick up to 2 if things stay as they are. And of course, if the rain does come down, they all have to pit again. And Anthony Bauer's got such a good run on Dan Blackwell here. Nothing Dan can do. The extra grip from those soft tyres, absolutely nothing he can do. So Anthony Bauer now takes over 2nd place. Dean Barry now has nearly a 20-second lead out front. Let's see how much and how quickly, or if at all, Anthony Bauer can start to close that gap down in 2nd place now that he's passed Dan Blackwell. You can already see the gap is dropping quite quickly, so still getting some good pace. We saw before, after that 9 or 10 laps, those soft tyres in the early stages of the race did seem to be struggling. But of course now, with the cloud cover coming over, plus the lower fuel load in the car now, the tyres will be lasting a little bit better. Cooler track conditions as well with the cloud cover will help it as well. But he's putting away very, very quickly. Stephen Harrison in 7th place is 6 seconds behind the battle for 4th. So he'll be looking to close that one down as soon as possible. So lap 37, we're just after the 2/3 distance now. It's definitely clouding over, still no rain out on track though as we speak. But Anthony Bauer is catching Dean by about a lap at the moment. I don't think Dean will be too worried for now. He knows that those soft tyres will not last till the end of the race on that Ferrari. So Anthony already 3 seconds clear of Dan Blackwell, who's lost a little bit of ground to Ant Waddington. So Ant is dragging that battle behind him. I've got to say as well, Arthur Bowler's done a great job on these tyres. Got a long, long way. And that's George Massey out of the race. He spun it down the back straight. George Massey out of the race in the Alfa Romeo. And there we go, our first safety car of the day. Now for anyone near the pits now, I wouldn't be too surprised if they pit, and Patrick does. But this is a tricky decision because of course if the rain is coming, you don't want to be pitting too soon. Can Patrick get out of the pits? It's a no-brainer for him. He had a big enough gap behind him, I think, to just stay ahead of Sam Congreve. Matt Anderson also pits as well from, he was in 10th position, but George Massey, such a shame for him. He picks. Can Patrick get out ahead of Sam Congreve? It's going to be very, very close, but I think he just about can. So it was a no-brainer for Patrick there to pit. He had a big enough gap behind him, even if it is only a few laps behind the safety car, and then before the rain gets here, he will have some blistering pace once they all form up behind. But this has really thrown a spanner in the works. Is Dean Barry going to pick from the lead? So Callum Harrod also pitting as well. So he emerges on another new set of soft tyres. Matt Anderson as well on a new set of soft tyres. Now is Dean Barry going to pit? Yes, he is. So this could be interesting here because if it's going to be very close between him and Anthony Bauer as to who maintains, whether he can maintain the lead or if Anthony will just sneak past. One of the Williams in as well, that's Ken Helgersand. He's now up to 16th position after the retirement of George. And drive-through penalties for Gregor Telford, speeding under the safety car, and Anthony Bauer pits, so does Dan Blackwell, and Waddington carries on. So Anne Waddington moves up into second place. Arthur Bowler also pits. Stephen Harrison carries on. So now it's back to a Mercedes 1-2. This has brought the field back together again, and now it's anyone's race. Dan's going to come out, I think, in 5th position. Patrick has decided to carry on as well. This is going to be close for Patrick, who's don't forget, just pitted. And yes, Patrick Carrasco retakes 5th. So he takes 5th position. Sam Blackwell comes out in 6th, just ahead of Sam Congreve. Tom Cosney has stayed out as well. That's interesting. He's gone a very long way on those medium tyres. And can you believe it? It is starting to rain out on track. On lap 39. Well, the safety car has thrown a completely different angle on this race. And now with the rain coming down as well, who knows what's going to happen, because how long... Now, Callum has done, I think, what could be a very interesting move. He's pitted and gone onto a set of intermediate tyres. So he's gambling on the fact that the rain is going to come down and it's going to be heavy, and that he is going to be able to gain an advantage. Jack Giles has done the same thing in 15th position. They're not lapped either, and the rain is coming down quite heavy here. So is anyone else going to take a punt and go onto a set of intermediate tyres? Gareth Lambourne has at the back of the field, but they're the only 3 at the moment on the intermediate tyres. What is going to happen here? It will all depend on how long the safety car is out, how much water's on the track when these guys do pit, as to what is going to happen. And Waddington is pitting. Is he taking the same gamble here and going on to set of intermediate? I think that's the only reason why he'll be pitting now and stayed out before. Is he going to be going on to set of intermediates? And Anthony Bowers in as well. Yes, they are going on to intermediates. Arthur Bowler in the pit, so is Tom Cosney. He's got a very long way on those medium tyres. And yes, those 4 are all on to intermediates. This could completely change the dynamic of the race. Those 4 on to intermediates. I'm amazed that Mercedes didn't decide to queue their cars there, because this could be handing the race to someone else. Dean Barry has led it almost from the start, apart from his pit stop. The rain is falling. Look how heavy that's starting to come down there. So the race order now is Dean Barry leads behind the safety car from Stephen Harrison. Patrick Roscoe is up to 3rd in the Renault. Dan Blackwell is 4th. That those 4 have all just stopped and put on soft tyres. Sam Congreve is up to 5th in the McLaren. He also, well, he's got a very long way on those medium tyres. Up into 6th is Joe Newman from the back of the grid, as Greg Telford gets another 5-second penalty for ignoring the flag. Joe Newman from the back of the grid is up to 6th. Matt Anderson is 7th. The top 7 are still on the slick tyres, as one of the wheels unlaps himself, and now that's Ken Helbersound, and Gregor Telford's going to come through and unlap himself as well, I believe. Indeed he is, so this is going to run now. Although, well, Kennedy's saying he's disqualified, but I think he's still on track. And another penalty for Gregor. He's racking up the penalties here. So the rain is really starting to fall. Now, there is Anthony Bauer and Ant Waddington. Those 2 have gone onto the intermediate tyres. The race, they're still going to be behind the safety car as Matt Anderson pits. Very surprised, frankly, we haven't seen pitting. And and going on to the intermediates for this last bit of the race, because the rain is definitely coming down, and I think all those on slicks are going to struggle once the safety car comes in. It will probably be in at the end of this lap, I would have thought. But Matt Anderson onto the intermediates as well. So, well, this could completely throw the race wide open. Anyone can win this now, I think. This is going to be a brilliant last 11 or 12 laps of the race, because those top 6 have all stayed out on the slick tyres. Practically everyone else behind them. Scott Larvin's still on the slicks in 11th place. So is Ken Helverstad and Gregor Telford, who've just been unlapping themselves. So it will just depend. It is going to be so close as to how much water's on the track, how much grip are those slick tyres going to give. And the problem is as well, of course, if there is a fair amount of water on the track now and they're starting to slip, they're going to struggle to get those tyres back up to temperature again when the safety car comes in, which I think will probably be on this lap. But the opposite is true as well. If there isn't quite enough water on the track for intermediates, all those on intermediates will struggle as well to begin with, and you can lose 10 to 15 seconds a lap by making the wrong call here. It is such a difficult decision to make. It really, really is. So there we see confirmation. The safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. So Dean Barry becomes effectively the safety car right now. He judges the pace. He's going to wait for the safety car to pit. And the problem is here is what happens as Ken gets a massive penalty. I think he's trying to make up, especially trying to make up some ground. But what is going to happen here? Where do you brake into turn 2? Because you just don't know where the grip is. You don't know how much grip is out there. Dean Barry is going to lead. The safety car is in. He slows the pack right down. And here we go. He's going again. Now look how he goes on intermediate right down there from the 7th downwards. A yellow flag. Joe Newman's off. Joe Newman is off. Oh, and there's contact as well. Giles has hit him. Giles has hit him. I think he was desperately trying to recover. And Joe Newman has made a mistake. We saw him. Well, what a race he's had to get back into the top 6. But it's all falling apart as Patrick Orozco's taken second place from Stephen Harrison. This race is coming live. Patrick's probably the most confident at the moment. Look at how much he's harrying the Mercedes out front. Dean Barry leads the race by 2/10 of a second from Patrick, as Dean runs very, very wide there in turn 5. And now Patrick's up the inside. Oh, he thinks better of it. You don't know where the grip's going to be. They're all on slick tyres, and at the moment they are pulling away, but I don't think it'll be very long at all before the intermediate tyres start to struggle, or start to get the grip. I think these drivers on the slick tyres are going to struggle very, very soon. On lap 42, we've got 11 laps to go after this one. Gregor Telford decides to pit as well. What tyres is he going to go for? This is absolutely brilliant to watch, but Patrick is the one with the most confidence at the moment in these tricky conditions. And there's another yellow flag. And Waddington spun. Those intermediates maybe haven't given it. And Waddington's made his second spin of the race. Down the back straight to corners, and maybe those intermediates aren't quite giving as much grip as they would like at the moment. He's got front wing damage. He's going to have to stop. And once again, I think. But here we go. On to another lap. They're all staying out for a little bit longer. This is brilliant, but look at that Renault up in second place. Dean Barry leads by 4/10 of a second from Patrick. The DRS has been enabled once again, as here comes Stephen Harrison trying to look up the inside. He's braked very, very late and towards Patrick wide, and Patrick just about resisted there. Had to go across the chicane, but I think he'll get away with that. Stephen braked so late there. So Joe Newman with another penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It really is falling apart for Joe Newman. He'd done so well from the back of the grid to be in the top 6, but at the moment it is so close as to the crossover between the slicks and the intermediates, because those on inters aren't falling back that much, but they're not gaining either. They are falling back slightly. Anthony Bauer is the lead car on intermediate tyres. He's in 6th position. He's 3 seconds behind the car in front of him. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. I think that's one of the back markers getting out of the way. But look at how close these 3 are. Dean, Patrick, Stephen Harrison. They're 2 seconds clear of Dan Blackwell in 4th place. Sam Congreve's doing well. I'm going to say in 5th place, very, very old medium tyres. He will be struggling probably the most out of everyone to get the temperature back in those old tyres. But he's hanging on in 5th position. And then behind that, Anthony Bauer is 6th, Arthur Bowler is 7th, Tom Cosme, what a race he's having for his first race of the season. He's up in 8th position. Callum Harron is 9th after his early switch for intermediate tyres after that spin he had earlier. DRS has now been enabled on this lap. So, here we go again. They are all staying out still on the slick tyres. And Patrick's so close. So close. And look at this. He's got a great run here down into the inside of turn 4. Is he going to go for it? He is. Patrick Carossa going for the lead. He's running bits and wide. Went out onto the marbles a little bit. Lost a little bit of grip. And now he's going to come under pressure from Stephen Harrison. You've got to say he's taking it very easy in these conditions. But they're just finding enough grip at the moment. And now that's given Dean a little bit of breathing space out there in the lead of the race. He's got a 1.5 second gap. He's free of the DRS. How much longer are they going to be able to find grip in these conditions? 9 laps to go after this. This is a great end to this race. Anthony Bauer in 6th position. The lead of the cars on the intermediates is still falling back slightly from those ahead of him, but I think at the moment he's still just about in the window where if they all have to pit for intermediates, he will certainly gain a few places and might even take the lead. And what a turnaround that would be. The Ferrari 11th and 12th on the grid. And now he could be in the pound seat. Stephen has done well as well. Don't forget he started back in 12th. He's up third. There's a virtual safety car. Joe Newman is out of the race. He's gone off. He had such a good start to the race. And Joe Newman has spun it coming out of turn 3. He was on a brand new set of soft tyres. And he is now down out of the race. He becomes our 3rd retirement of the day. So Ollie spun, retired at the end of the 3rd lap after contact with Gregor Telford. George Massey spun out earlier on. He is out of the race. And now Joe Newman has spun. We're under virtual safety car. Well, that's going to be another problem for the drivers on slicks, because now they're going to be losing temperature once again. And they're going to struggle even more with even more water on the track than before. They're going to struggle to get the temperatures up once again. So can you believe the tension in these last few laps of the race? Dean Barry has led it almost from the beginning. He does get another penalty there. Dan Blackwell gets a penalty, a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. So that he's going to have to stop, and he won't be allowed to change tyres either. And there is another car off as well. I think that's one of the Toro Rossos running off the track. So it's all go here in the last few laps of the race. On lap 45, 8 laps to go after this. Into the pits again comes Ant Waddington. I think he's going to have to stop, change his front wing. Such a shame from him. He was looking good. But he does now pit. Anthony Bauer, meanwhile, 6th position, is just starting to close the gap very slightly on Sam Congreve ahead of him. Is that an indication? Is that an indication that those intermediate tyres are beginning to come into the temperature window that they need, and those slicks are starting to lose grip? But once again, look at how much more confident Patrick is in 2nd place. He's half the gap between himself and Dean Barry in the lead. At the end of the virtual safety car, Sam gets a penalty as well. That is Ant Waddington leaving the pits, nearly a lap down. Could Mercedes try and use him to try and slow down the Renault? No, Ant's well out of the way. Stephen Harrison is being very, very cautious in 3rd position. And I don't really blame him. He's got his World Championship league to think about. He's not too worried about the two ahead of him. It'll be staying ahead of the likes of Dan and his teammate at the moment. That's what he'll be concentrating on. Lap 46, 7 to go after this. And you've got to say, Patrick is looking the happiest at the moment. But Anthony Barry's starting to drop back again a little bit. Maybe those inters aren't quite up to temperature. But what a tense last few laps. Who knows what the right decision is to make here. If they can make it to maybe lap 50, you would think they could just tiptoe around the last few laps, but you never know. You just need that bit of a heavy rain shower and it can completely catch you out, especially someone like Sam in 5th position who's done 26 laps now on those medium tyres. If the rain comes down heavily, he's really going to struggle, and I am starting to see some telltale little bits of oversteer moments. Drivers have to steer into slides, which is normally the telltale signs that the track is getting a little bit damp, but they're still staying out on track. From Stephen will start diving in there, but they're still staying out. Scott Larvin into the pits. He's running 14th. So you've got to say at the moment, the intermediate tyres haven't been quite as much of an advantage as they thought they'd be. Anthony Bow now sits to 8 seconds behind the car ahead of him. You've got to say in the Ferrari, you really would expect. Oh, and Patrick gets badly held up there. That was Scott Larvin exiting the pits and drove right in front of him and nearly cost him his front wing. He now gets past him, but he's lost a lot of time to the race leader. Let's see how Anthony's getting on. There he is. He's in 6th position. Let's see how much grip he's got. The rain is still falling. Well, it's as they predicted, the last 10 to 15 laps, which is what I was told by the manager, and they said about 10 to 15 laps towards the end that the rain would come down. He doesn't look quite as confident as the others. He does look as if his tyres are just overheating slightly, so maybe it was a bit early to go to the inters. Can the slicks make it to the end? Race order, lap 47. Dean Barry now leads by 2.5 seconds from Patrick, with Stephen right behind him now. Dan Blackwell has got that drive-through penalty to serve, but he's currently in 4th place. Sam Congreve is 5th. Those 5 are on the slick tyres. Then everyone else in the top 10 behind them are on the intermediate. So 6th is Anthony Bauer. Arthur Bowler is 7th. Tom Cosme having a good race is 8th. His debut here in the F1 League. Callum Harrod is in 9th place in the 2nd Red Bull. 10th for Matt Pielko in the 2nd Alfa Romeo. He's also having a good race. Here comes Dan Blackwell to serve his drive-through penalty. The remaining runners, Ken Helberstad has just got past Matt Anderson, really giving an indication the inters still aren't quite there yet. Ken Helberstad takes 11th place from Matt Anderson. Jack Giles is 13th. Scott Larvin is in 14th position, just ahead of his teammate Greg Telford. And Waddington, after his 2 spins in the race and 2 extra stops, is 16th. And Gareth Lambourne is 17th and last at the moment. That is the race order. There we can see Dean Barry now pulling away. Nearly 3 seconds clear. Now where is Dan Blackwell going to come out? He comes out in 6th, right behind Anthony Bauer. So that is going to... Oh, and he runs completely off the track. Completely outbrakes himself coming out of the pit lane. Was he distracted by something now, or is he losing grip? And he runs completely off the track. Now that is going to be an interesting battle to see. Let's have a look. If he close up quite quickly on Anthony here, then definitely those inters are still not quite there, and he certainly is taking meters out of him. So it was a brave pull. I wouldn't want to have had to make that pull, but at the moment they're hanging on those slick tyres. So it's Dean Barry 3.5 seconds clear of Patrick now. I've got to say, Patrick, don't forget, spun earlier in the race. It's been a great recovery drive from him up into 2nd place, as Dan Blackwell does get past Anthony Bauer now up into 5th. So yes, it was too early for the inters, and I think these slicks, looking at it now, might just hang on to the end of the race. Sam Congreve is some 23 seconds back in 4th place, so even if the top 3 did pit now, they will probably come out ahead of him, let alone ahead of the cars on the intermediates. So Dean Barry now just starting to lose a little bit of his lead, but he's got a 3-second lead, 4 laps to go after this one. And then we've got this good battle going on between Patrick and Stephen. I don't think Stephen's going to push too hard for this. As I said before, the two in front of him aren't really in the championship battle, and he is going to be extending his lead quite dramatically here because his nearest championship rival is only 6th. So as it stands, Stephen is going to be getting 19 points, whereas Anthony Bauer is going to be getting 15 points. The lead was 7 points at the start of the race. The yellow flag in sector 1, I think that was one of the Williams getting out of the way as Callum Pitts. Is he getting rid of those intermediate tyres? Yes, he is. He's going to send softs. So that's very interesting. Matt Anderson as well in the pits. So a couple of the drivers who were on the inters are now switching to soft. I tell you, this has helped amazingly well. Is Ken Helberstad up into 9th place now for Williams. Who would have thought that at the start of the day? But the safety car, added to the fact that he's stayed on the slick tyres when everyone else around him has gone to slicks, has seen him move into 9th place. And what a result that would be for Williams. Absolutely great. I think that would be their best result of the season if he can hang on to that. And he is closing very quickly on the battle ahead of him, which is between Arthur Bowler and Tom Cosme for 7th. It could get even better yet for Ken. He's on for 12 points at the moment for 9th place if he can hang on to it. If anything, the rain is slowing down a little bit now. So it was a brave call, but it looks like the wrong one at the moment. Lap 50 of the race. Still 3 seconds. Patrick's dropped Stephen now by nearly 2 seconds, and he started to close back up again. He had so much more confidence, didn't he, at the end of the safety car periods to end up right on the tail, getting past Stevens. Brave move, and now he's starting to close back up again. Can we see a last couple of lap showdown between these top two? Tom Cosme gets a penalty. Well, there's been so many penalties here today. Watch them as they cross the line, because they are all going to be swapping positions, I think, here. But Dean Barry leading by 3 seconds, but it is coming down. Sam Congreve, what a race he's had. 4th position. He started 13th on the grid and again kept out of trouble, and he's in 4th place. Only made 1 stop. A yellow flag in sector 1, and that's Arthur Bowler out of the race. Arthur Bowler has retired from the race. He spun out of turn 3. There you can see there's another car in there as well. I'm not sure who that is. Is that Ant Waddington again? Yes, it is. Ant Waddington involved in that incident as well. Was there contact between those two? But Arthur Bowler, disastrous day for Racing Point. Both of their cars out of the race. And Ant Waddington, well, he has had a few incidents here today. He had a brilliant start to the race, but he's had 3 spins down. I think he's just taken out the Racing Point. So as a result, the virtual safety car is deployed once again. Well, what else is going to happen in these last few races? But that lifts Ken Helberstad up into 8th position, and he's taken 3 seconds out of Tom Cosme ahead of him. The virtual safety car ends now. The DRS is enabled once again. Now, we saw before, and it's happening again, how much more confidence Patrick has just after the safety car period. He's taken 1.4 seconds out of Dean's lead already. It's down to 1.6 seconds. Who knows what's going to happen here? Dean does seem to struggle to get those tyres up to temperature. Jack Giles is pitted as well. He was running in 14th place. He's lost 1 position. But disaster for Racing Point. There's only 4 cars left out the track on the intermediate tyres now. Anthony Bauer still hanging on to 6th. Tom Cosme 7th. Look out for Ken though. He is closing on them. He's less than 4 seconds behind Tom in that final battle for 7th place. What a result this would be for Williams. Easily their best result of the season. And Ken Helberstad coming after a strong 4th place at Singapore when he deputised for Matt Goodyear, who was the former Alfa Romeo driver. Came home 4th in that race, and he's put in another very, very strong debut performance for Williams, and he's closing very quickly into the second to last lap now as Dean crosses the line. Lap 52, the lead is still 1.6 seconds. Stevens just dropped off the pace a little bit there, but he's 4 seconds further back in third. Here is fourth place man, Sam Conbury. What a drive he's had today. As I said, back in 13th on the grid, he's up to 4th, and he's driven superbly. Did jump on the bandwagon that everyone else did of switching to the intermediate tyres when it started to rain, and I think it's going to pay him massive dividends here. Here is Dan Blackwell. He was running in 5th. Well, that driving penalty cost him 4th place, but I think he'll still be happy with that. He started 6th, he's up to 5th. And look at this here. This is Tom Cosme, and right behind him is the Williams of Ken Helberstad. He must be thinking all his Christmases has come at once here, because he is about to take 7th place, it looks like, in that Williams. And there was absolutely no way. Tom has a massive overseer moment coming out the final corner, and Ken is easily going to take it. Ken Helberstad, well, they're wheel to wheel, but he's going to have so much more braking into turn 1. Those slick tyres really are giving up better grip, and Ken moves into 7th position. What a drive from him. One of the best drives I've seen so far this season. But here is Dean Barry on the second to last lap. Coming through the chicane, he's pulled out a little bit of a lead once again. He leads by 2 seconds from Patrick, as there is Ant Waddington going very, very slowly, letting the leaders through. He's had a disastrous last few laps, hasn't he, unfortunately. Dropped well down the order. As Callum Harrod gets past Matt Pielko, who's still hanging on to those intermediate tyres, but Callum up into 9th position. So driver of the day, very, very quickly. Well, the few contenders, Dean Barry's driven very well from the front, from the beginning, hasn't made any mistakes that I've seen, but I'm going to give it to Ken Helberstad with that Williams. 7th place, driven superbly, stayed out on those slick tyres, and paid dividends for him. Well up in the points, but definitely I'd say though Dean Barry's had a very good drive. Patrick's had a good recovery drive after his spin. Stephen Harrison as well has driven well from 12th on the grid to be 3rd. Sam Congreve was the other notable mention I'd say as well, 13th to 4th. But we're on the final lap, so all Dean has to do now is just keep it on the rack stuff for these last few corners, and he will be the race winner. Jack Giles looks like he's got some technical issues. He's running in 13th at the moment. I hope that doesn't cost him that position. But as I said, look out for the penalties as they all cross the line. It could all change. We saw that at Singapore, because Anthony Bauer crossed the line in 1st place at Singapore, but it was Jamie Keats who took the race victory due to the penalties. But here comes Dean Barry. He's been in control from the start of the race. He's coming down to the last 2 corners now, and Dean Barry exits the final corner to win in Russia. Will he hang on to that? Oh, he nearly loses it across the line. Patrick comes home 2nd. In the end, a big gap due to the penalty, and in fact Stephen Harrison takes 2nd thanks to the penalties of Patrick. Stephen Harrison does snatch 2nd. Look at this. This is the closer I'm thinking here for 4th place. Sam Congreve, can he hang on over Dan Blackwell? This is very, very close indeed. A few of the others have finished as well. Ant Waddington's finished, Gareth has finished in 16th place, and Scott Larvin too has finished. He was 12th. But Sam Congreve comes up to the final corner. Can he hang on to 4th? I'm not sure what his penalties have been like. I've seen a couple for him. I have seen a couple for Dan Blackwell as well. Oh, and Sam loses it across the line. Sam has a massive moment of overseas across the line, and Dan Blackwell snatches 4th right at the end. Sam Congreve 5th. Here comes Anthony Bauer. Well, it was a brave call to go to the intermediates. It hasn't quite worked for him, but he does bring the car home in 6th position. Driver of the day for me, Ken Helberstad in the Williams, 7th place. What a drive. He will be delighted with that result. Tom Cosme comes home sliding across the line. He does take 7th in the end due to the penalties for Ken. Callum Harrod finishes in 9th with only a couple more across the line. Here is Matt Pielko, also his first race. He'll be pleased to finish, to come home in 10th. There we go, and Matt Anderson is the last car to across the line. He finishes in 11th position. Well, what an end to that race we had there. That was unbelievable. Such tricky conditions. You didn't know what was going to happen next. I'm going to try and get the top 3 in now for their interview after the race. I'm sure you'll agree that was an unbelievable end to the race. So hopefully soon we will have the top 3 in for a quick chat. So we're just waiting to see confirmation of the result on a very dramatic end to the Grand Prix. There we can see it. Dean Barry does win. Stephen Harrison takes second place. Patrick comes home third. We do now have the top 3 in the party. If you can just all make sure your audio is included, please, gentlemen, so everyone can hear. Dean
Afternoon.
started from pole, took the race to win in the end. You must be pleased with the result.
Yeah, definitely pleased with that one. I was a bit lucky deciding to stay on the softs, but it paid off. So
Yeah, very, very treacherous conditions towards the end. Were you tempted to come in under the safety car for intermediates, or did you think it was going to be dry enough to the end?
I was tempted, but with the team in my ear telling me just to, Anthony was going to chance it, and I wasn't. So one of us will do well.
Indeed. How slippery was it for the last few laps?
It wasn't too bad. I did stay in lean for most of the twisty bits, which seemed to work out. And then on the straights, I was just asking Jeff twice a lap if the intermediates were going to be faster. So.
Yeah, and Patrick had a lot of pace there. Were you a little bit worried about him after the safety car? Because he seemed to be very quick.
Not really. I mean, he is ridiculous in that run-up, but at the start, I kept leaving Anthony in the straights, even when he had DRS. So I was pretty confident that he wouldn't manage to pass me with DRS. So that was not too bad. Then my time penalty during the safety car kind of made me a little bit worried, but I managed to build up that gap.
Yeah, well, congratulations. It was a great win for you. Stephen, after the penalties, you come home in second place. Started back in 12th position. Disaster for you in qualifying, but you managed to bring it around in the race.
The emotions going through my body for this race is insane. Like,
How were you finding it toward the end? Because you seem to be, out of the top 3, you seem to be the one that was struggling the most for pace. Were you struggling with your tyres, or were you just hanging back?
I had a lot of extra fuel in, and then I just needed to finish across the line and within 12 seconds, Patrick, and that was my aim. I weren't even pushing, like chucking everything up in high, going down straights. But other than that, bang it all down, save, just chill, get across the line. Because honestly, that qualifying. I was going out on the softs last minute to get around, and Sack's car came in and parked it straight. Obviously, it parked straight across the garages and blocked me from going out, so I didn't get enough time.
You've got a little echo there, Matt.
Say that again.
So, but you must be pleased, as it has extended your championship lead once again, because it had come down a lot after Singapore. So you must be pleased to get that back up again a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. It was unlucky for Sack and a few other boys in the team. But I did call them. Did say I got a strategy change. Did anyone else? lap 51 for Inters. That's why I stayed out, and that's why I pit for the extra soft before the safety car. It was a weird one. I got it and I was like, 51. I'm changing to softs, and I went for it, and they were talking about medium Inters, and I was like, just remember China. Like, it stayed out for ages. The rain was like, it never got heavy in China. But they all pit, and it's just unlucky. It's one of them. It's 50-50. It's going to work or it's not. But I'm very happy. It didn't.
Yeah, it was a complete
Yeah,
gamble.
and Patrick, another race, another podium in that Renault, and you had the spin in the middle of the race as well. What happened with your spin?
I for some reason had a huge amount of understeer going into that chicane in the last sector, and I went wide, tried to get on traction, spun it, lost about 10 seconds there, but yeah, luckily it didn't hit me.
Still a good recovery drive up into third place. How did you find the conditions at the end?
I was actually really confident and comfortable in them. I jumped snake pretty quickly off the start. I found pretty good grip. But yeah, it was tricky. You kind of just had to half throttle it through a lot of places, but it was good. And I got really lucky with the timing of the safety car because it came out right as I got to the pit entrance, so I just made a split-second decision to pit on the softs, and I jumped 2 or 3 people. So that was really good for me, but good recovery, yeah, good race.
Yes, indeed. And how do you keep doing this every single? Most races, you're up there in the top 3 or 4. That Renault, every track we come to, is going to struggle for power, and you're still getting it up there.
I don't know. All I know is that these are coming I hope a regular occurrence. But I think the last 2 were pretty lucky. Singapore is really lucky, and this one is kind of lucky. I was looking for a P6, P7 here before the safety car, but hopefully I continue into the rest of the season. I'm still aiming to beat Red Bull in the constructors, so we'll see.
Yeah, well, that's pulled you away from Red Bull in the championship, I believe. Doing quick maths in my head. But is everyone looking forward to Suzuka next weekend?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yes.
That's where I lose again. Not great. Honestly, I'm not great around there. And if it rains, I don't know what's going to happen. This game's got to give me a break.
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure to commentate on you again this evening, and I will see you all again next week for the Japanese Grand Prix.
Cheers, Matt. See you next week.
So thank you to everyone who joined me this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate on the race for you this evening, and I will see you all, as we said, next weekend for the Japanese Grand Prix. So goodbye for now.